Thank you for picking up the sticks. This is episode 108, Sticks Gaming Podcast. I am Mike Kernett. To my right, Mike Steak Carnia.
What's going on?
To my left, Art, the Invisible Man Rosian. Art has some personal matters to attend to today, so two-man show. He played Siege. That's all you need. That's if you're all cut up on it.
It's seriously like it's so funny because Mike texts us like, "Hey, how far did you guys get in Last of Us 2?" Art's like, "Not very far at all." And then I jumped onto PlayStation Siege. I'm like, well, duh.
Jesus. So today, we got two-man show today. I finished Last of Us 2, so I'm going to try to talk a little bit more about it. Still spoiler-free. I don't want to mess that up for you or for him or for anybody else. And then earlier today, they had the big first-party Microsoft Xbox press conference.
Yes.
So we will go into that line by line, minute by minute later.
Yes.
Because you have the classic run-of show, right? The steak run-of show, I assume.
My notes are over there.
Go get your notes.
1 second.
While he does that, I'll just talk about our sponsors. We don't have any sponsors. Apparently, Hot Butch is our sponsor because we're both drinking one of their beers. I'm drinking, what is this called? Orange Crush?
Glazed orange.
Ooh, it is delicious.
Hot Butcher's amazing. If you're from the Chicagoland area or south suburbs, north suburbs, west suburbs, get some Hot Butcher.
Yeah, this is usually not my jam, but it was delicious.
Amazing.
It is very, very good.
Yes.
So easy, fill time, and we should put them up on this thing. But hey,
Yeah.
for a free post.
Hey, you guys know me. How you doing?
So yeah, State's got the runner show, so we got quite a lot to talk about here today. So let's jump into this. So Steak, what you playing?
All right. So I'll keep this quick since we do have a lot to talk about. So it was on sale, and I was like, okay, I've been looking at this game for a while, but the reviews were Tennis World Tour.
Okay.
So
that's one of your jams, though.
Oh, absolutely. I was obsessed with top spin games back in the day. So I was like, all right, it's been a while since I've had something like this. It was $6 on the Switch store. I'm like, done. Like the reviews have been okay for it. But I'm like, done. $6. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. Like I'm loving it. I think I probably have put, I don't know. I mean, probably anywhere between 8 to 10 hours into it already.
Nice.
That's
$6 well spent.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. My career guy, you started at level 100. You started at rank 100. I think I'm up to like 52 already or whatever. So I've been doing quite well for myself. But it's great. It's good. It's cool. It's a good like kind of quote unquote professional tennis game, and it's kind of neat because like with the career mode, you can pick what kind of matches you want to have. Do you want to have quick? Do you want to have some? There's one other thing, and then there's realistic. And I'm like, well. I mean, I play tennis, so I was like, I'll take the realistic. That's fine. So the only difference is that means that I play like I have to win 2 out of 3 sets or 3 out of 5 sets, and then But right now, so far, it's only been I have to win 3 games instead of 6, which is the norm.
Okay, so it doesn't like change. It doesn't change like the gameplay. It changes the rules.
It just changes how many games you have to win to win the match, basically. So I like I said, and that was the thing I liked about Topspin is like I was always like all about the realistic. I'm like, no, I want to play 6. I got to win 6 games for the set and 2 out of 3 sets or 3 out of 5, whatever. So, but I'm like I said, for $6, I'm super enjoying it. It's great. The other thing I've been playing quite a bit of, and just because of circumstances in my house for the last couple of weeks, we had my sister staying with us, so I really couldn't play my consoles too much, and then other things. But Paper Mario, the Origami King. So I almost didn't buy it. Because I did see the Nintendo Treehouse about it. And I was like, I don't know about this. Because for me, Paper Mario is all about the RPG. And for this, it's like, well, you don't gain any experience. You don't level up. You know, you have this ring combat. And that's like it. Like, so I was like, okay, well, this is weird.
Yeah. And
the ring combat is kind of confusing. But I was like, all right, well, you know what? Forget it. I don't care. I'm going to grab it. It's Paper Mario. I still like Paper Mario. The story is great. The story so far has been pretty great. It's funny. It's very funny. Like, and especially at the beginning. The beginning is pretty dark, so it's kind of some dark humor, which is great for like a Mario game. It's dark. Like, but it looks fantastic. I would say the only thing I don't necessarily care for is the combat, this whole ring combat thing, because I just feel stupid sometimes where I'm like, I can't.
It's the game's fault, though.
No, not necessarily. But there's times where I'm like, okay, I got to line these guys up. And it's like, you only have a certain amount of time to do it. But if you want more time, you can get more time, but you have to spend coins to get that time added to the ring.
Okay, total. So is it like a grid-based thing, or is it like...
Kind of.
Okay.
So you have 4 layers. So you have 4 rings. Like,
Okay.
So think inner, outer, outer, outer. Okay. And then on top of that, you also have a cross. So you have this 4 rings that you can spin around, and then but you also can hit the R button, and then it's like up and down. So you can move the enemies like vertical along this. So you're in the middle of this ring.
Okay.
And so if they're over here, if you hit back a couple times, all of a sudden then they're behind you.
I got you.
Kind of
Okay.
like that. So you can move them that way or in a circle or whichever way. But you only have a certain amount of ring moves. And then to get them into, because when you get them all in line in a certain way to attack, then you get a 1.5 times attack boost.
Okay.
And then so that helps you. And then also you get, so then normally you can you can eliminate all the enemies within that, and then you don't get attacked. But if you don't do that, and they're staggered, then you have enemies that all attack you. And
I got you.
You can hit the A button to block, but they still all attack you. So it definitely takes some time to get used to. Like, and there's times where I'm like, I got this, and there's other times where I'm like, holy shit, I figured that out. I feel so
nice.
good right now. And then there's times where I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like, I have no idea. I'm just gonna do what I can, eliminate the enemies I can. I'll block to try to, just so I don't get too much damage, and then take it from there.
I got you.
But I'm enjoying it. I think it is. I think
Good.
it's. I'm glad I picked it up. Let's put it that way. And then last but not least, a little bit more of The Last of Us 2. Not as much as I would like. I am on day 3 of Seattle, so I'll just leave it at that because I don't know what else is spoiler or not. Unfortunately, Art's not here because me and him started something on Twitter, and I was going to bring it up to go into it. So I'll bring it up a little bit, though. I still will bring it up. So I basically said that I wish, and I understand what Art's saying as well. I totally get it. But from my perspective, I understand what I'm saying as well. I wish Naughty Dog would do something more like a Life is Strange style thing.
And what Art was saying, because I saw this beef, if you will.
Yeah.
A little internet beef.
Like I said, and I totally get where he's coming from
yeah.
as well.
And what Art ended up saying was just like, well, you knew what you were getting into before you got into this. Like, you can't say necessarily that they have to make a different kind of game or something along those lines. And here's what I'm going to say about this, because I finished Last of Us Part 2. I always finished it. I'm not going to talk a bunch about it, like I said, just because I don't want to spoil it for you or anybody else. But something that helped me, like, mentally, because even with finishing it and loving the game, loving the game, the gameplay definitely, the story keeps us welcome longer than the gameplay does, especially near the end.
Okay.
So, like, it's like that friend that you just want to leave the party, and then when else stay at the party, like I want the gameplay friend to leave, and then me just get the story. So I hear what you're saying, but I think what really helped me and kind of, I wouldn't say it gave me like more enjoyment, but kind of like contextualized it differently for me was like Last of Us is a stealth game. It's a stealth game that doesn't destroy you when you mess it up.
Sure.
So that's kind of like when I was trying to be a stealthy, like when I would go into it, like into a an arena for fighting, I would try to get as many of the stealth as possible, and then ultimately that would fail because I'm not that great at it, to be honest. And then I would have to take out the different whoever it is, they're infected or people or whatever it is.
Right.
So like for me, as opposed to being like feeling that like the repetitiveness of it, and like I said, I did feel that too, especially near the end. Having that mantra being it's like the stealthiness is really kind of on me, and like the different ways that I can accomplish that feat, and then trying, and every single time I was trying to get as further and further into stealth, which made it a challenge, but B also kept me away from the repetitive nature of those kind of encounters.
Sure.
So I think maybe that's a better way to kind of go in that mindset wise, because literally I totally feel you on that though too.
Yeah.
Like there was definitely, the game definitely ebbs and flows gameplay wise for me, very much so. I can't say anything else, but but this story obviously kept me going throughout it.
And that's the thing. And it was the same with the first game. Like the story was getting me going, and like I was bored and everything with the gameplay itself and stuff. And that game, I felt like the first one was way more punishing when it came to the stealth.
Oh yeah.
Like if you screwed up, you're fucked. Like you were dead pretty much. Where this one, I agree. Although this one, I feel like I'm doing a lot better in terms of the stealth than I did in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
So until a certain point, and I always hit that point in every encounter, pretty much, almost every encounter. There's been a few where I've completely stealth, but there's been a couple where I'm just like, I had no idea. I thought I was done. I had no idea there was someone else there. So like, and I've expressed this before. I have an issue with Naughty Dog's gameplay because again, with the Uncharted games, like the Uncharted games, the story is again great. Like I still have not played Uncharted 4. It's on my to-do list. Trust me, it's on my to-do list. Well, because I've never finished 3. So all
right, fair enough.
I got to finish that first. But when I went from 1 to 2, I was like, okay, gameplay greatly improved. I still have issues with it, but way improved because that first Uncharted, it's bad. Like in my opinion, the gameplay is like brutal.
It's an old action game at this point too. Right. So like I mentioned this too when I was talking about a few months ago when I finally decided to sit down and play Spec Ops: The Line. Right. Where like man, this gameplay is rough. Yeah. But I'm also playing an Xbox 360 game, so like you kind of gotta like time warp back to that and be like, okay, this was fine back then. Right. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I get it. I absolutely. But yeah, but I don't know. I'm just, oh my God. I just want to get through the story. And that's the thing. It's like, because like this is going to sound terrible for you guys, but the one thing I texted you about the other night, like, that's why I'm like, okay, this Life is Strange would be perfect style because even up to that point, I could still make that decision or that button press or whatever I have to do at that point, and it still would have the same emotion minus all that other crap I just went through that I just was hurrying through.
Yeah. The main difference to me, when you and I text back, you asked me, it was like you're like, oh crap, this happened. I'm like, I know, just wait, type of thing. And like there's like, you asked me like, how much more do I got? Like a lot. Anyway, the main difference between I think this type of game and the Life is Strange type of a deal is Life is Strange does give you a lot of choices and options, while this is trying to tell you a story.
Sure.
You will feel that way more when you're getting into it like the next couple sections.
Okay.
So like I think that you kind of have to let yourself go along with the ride.
Got it. Okay.
Because if you don't do that, you can be where I was last time we all talked, and I was just like, I don't know how. I like the story, but I don't know like how it's telling me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I felt when I was getting into where I was.
Okay.
And then when I kind of just like let that go, and it's like when I had those two revelations about like the gameplay is more. I need to be like it's a stealth game that doesn't kill you when you get caught.
Right.
And being like, this is not my story. This is the story that Naughty Dog is trying to tell me. For many, many reasons. I was just like, okay, I got to let those couple of things go and just let me see where this goes. And I had a significantly better experience with it going forward from that because I was feeling that fatigue just like you are.
Yeah.
I got that little fatigue a little bit past you, but I like the gameplay to begin with where you kind of don't.
Sure.
So I kind of understand what that, that difference would be. But yeah, man, it's worth every amount of struggling that you're feeling right now.
I just need to do it because I really want to get to Ghost.
Dude,
I really want to get to, like, and it's the thing. Like, I told myself, I'm like, okay, I have to finish Last of Us 2 before I start Ghost of Tsushima.
You can't go back to it.
Like, there's no way. So I have, because it's completely different and it's gonna feel weird.
Yeah.
It's just not gonna work correctly. So I have to finish Last of Us 2 first. But man, just having that case, like I installed it because I was like, well, I gotta at least get it installed. But I'm like, oh my god,
I can't find a digital copy. I can't find a physical copy of Ghost of Tsushima. Crazy. We went like we did some shopping over the weekend for like the kids like supplies and stuff like that for the school they may or may not have or whatever. But so we were going around and I was at like 2 different Targets, didn't have it. I went to a GameStop, didn't have it. Best Buy didn't have it. I was just like, I can't find this freaking game physically. And I have like the problem is like I'll be like I gotta go digital, right? Because I probably will be going like Art said, like I'm going to be diving deep into the all digital future. I think of the next generation. But with this one, I was like, I still got the $10 gift card to this. To this. So it's just like, I can save myself $10. But like, it's probably even more. It's money wise, probably ends up being the same when you look at get taxes involved and all that nonsense. Sure. That's not your problem. That's my problem. But yeah, I can't find a physical copy of Ghost of Tsushima. I went to a couple of Myers too. They couldn't have it there either. God,
that's so crazy. I mean, that's great. That's great.
That's a good sign.
It's a good sign for Sucker Punch. Great sign for PlayStation. That's so crazy though. Oh my god. Well, that's why I know people say stop pre-ordering stuff, but I will continue to pre-order stuff because of that. Like, especially if it's a game I know I want like right away.
And like I can't remember the time when I was just like, your wife's hilarious. I'll get that later. I forgot what I was talking about now.
You can't remember a time.
Oh, like I can't remember a time when it's just like I remember back in the day. I stroll up to Electronic Boutique like, do you got this game? I'm like, no, but it's coming in like a couple days from now. It's just like that doesn't happen anymore. Like I should be able to find that pretty much every single time I go.
Right. I remember when GTA Vice City came out.
Oh.
And I was like, I didn't pre-order because that was back when I was younger. I was under the age of 17. But you know how that is. You go to the mall, and the mall will sell you anything. So I remember I was calling up there like every day, like, and then the minute they told me it was there, I was like, Ma, we gotta go to the mall.
I think I don't know if I told this story on the podcast before, but when I went away to college, the way I funded my gaming habit was I would sell plasma, and it would be like you would go once, you get I think $20 for the first gig, and then the second time you go around, you get $30 because for some reason that was better. And I guess I had the very primo plasma because I guess the fatter you are, the more plasma they like out of you. It was like I don't know, so like hey, finally my fatness pays off, but. So I would before I knew a game would come out, I would go twice in that week and have $50 to sit out there. And I went to the local, I think it was GameStop at that point. And I was looking for Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I pre-ordered it. I even pre-ordered it. That's how much I planned. I gave plasma twice and pre-ordered this thing.
Right.
And I rolled in there and they'd be like, oh, we don't have any. I'm like, you better be messing with me. And he was like, I am. I'm like, it's not funny.
I'm pre-ordering this shit.
I know. I was just like, I planned ahead so much for this. And then I even barely played that game. But that's neither here nor there.
Oh, same here.
Do you have any of the Last of Us 2 thoughts?
No, that's pretty much it. I'm going to double check the camera really quick.
Oh, yeah.
I've been drinking a little. So I'm trying to remember if I hit record.
Oh, man, I hope you did. We got some gold.
If it's not I did, yes. Oh, thank God. All right. Cool. I don't know. You know how like sometimes, you have like that moment where like, did I do that?
Every single time I close the garage. So I hear you.
Oh, I can't tell you how many times I've gone to bed and I'm like, I lock all the doors.
Oh yeah.
And I go down, I get downstairs. Damn it! I'll just lay in bed awake until I go check the doors. Like
I'm always like, I'm too far gone at this point, so I'll text somebody home. Did I close the garage?
But that is it for me.
Okay. So last thing I'm going to say about Last of Us 2. The internet griping about this thing, I don't know if you've seen that or not, because it's also kind of spoilerish. So I don't know if you've seen
the stuff I've seen people gripe about. There's one thing I've not discovered, I've not experienced yet.
Okay.
And that is, but the other thing that I've seen, I have already experienced. It was pretty early in the game.
Okay. So I can't imagine getting to the end of this game and griping about those things.
Okay.
At all. And I think that this game really kind of transcends the media. The whole in this story can only be told in video games. I don't think this is definitely not the case in this thing. Like this game, this story could be told in a movie. I mean, they have the TV show coming up, so could be told in kind of like an anthology type of a TV show. I don't think it would be as effective because of what the game makes you do. Okay. I think it'd be dynamic to watch, or it'd be dynamic to watch, but it's a more emotional experience when you're playing it.
Okay.
I can't imagine anyone being upset with this thing after they finished the game and got a chance to experience the whole thing and without having some kind of understanding of what the end game was. That's as vague as I can possibly get. Sure. So I finished the game. I shout out to the min-max community, 2 ones, min-max community, because they do a thing called the Deepest Dive.
Okay.
Where they what they do is they used to have a game club when they were Game Informer, where they would play all right, we're gonna play this game up to this point, and then we're gonna come back this week and talk about it. So they broke this game up in 4 parts, and they would talk, but each one of their episodes was 3 hours long. Oh my God. So after playing this game, which is about a 30-ish hour game, by the way,
and I think that's part of the reason why it's kind of killing me a little too, because the first one was 15, which is for me it's perfect. But I get it.
It's. Oh my God! There's so much I want to say and I can't. So I'm gonna leave it be. I'm gonna say it's.
I promise everyone, we will have a spoiler cast eventually on this.
So I said min-max to this thing called the Deepest Dive, where they literally they chunk up the game, and each episode was 3 hours long. So after I finished it, I was just I watched all 12 hours ish of the review because awesome. Not because I did absolutely love the game, but it's so complex and so so detailed and deep that I really wanted to rewatch some of those cutscenes. I wanted to rewatch some of the encounters. I wanted to re-see some of the dialogue and things like that. And what was really nice about that, like the min-max deepest dive, is also whatever section they're talking about is basically running in the background. So they have it kind of running in the background. They kind of edit it a little bit to keep all the important stuff in there. So like they talk about it in very deep detail, obviously, because it's a 3-hour. It's a 3-hour talk about 6 hours of the game. So like they're talking a lot about like really deep minutia type stuff. And then I can see it in the background because I didn't have time to replay this game, but I really wanted to re-experience it again. Yeah. So like finishing that game, being like, I said, I didn't know how I felt about it last time. I wasn't fully sure how I felt about it when I finished the game because there's just so much going on.
Sure.
Like the level of depth is mind-boggling, and I'm just like I don't know really where I kind of stand on these things, so I had to like basically rewatch half the game and hear these guys talk about it to kind of like form an opinion that made more sense, because you can miss a few things here or there detail-wise and be like, I don't understand why this person is doing this thing.
Yeah.
So like really kind of getting a deeper dive and hearing some people's perspectives really kind of helped me form my own opinion on some different relationships and actions that the characters took and motivations for like, why am I the one doing this type of stuff as well. And it's a ride, and it's cool. It's unbelievable. It's I know. I hear you.
Push through so bad.
I'm hoping I'm motivating you to get through the end of this.
See, for me, the only thing that sucks is that because normally, like, when certain games, it's like, okay, I just want to push through the story. I know what I have to do just to push through the story. But the problem with this game is resources are so scarce that you still have to like search every nook and cranny just to get like freaking bullets and stuff. Because there was a time where I started a section. What was it? I think it was the beginning of day 2 Seattle, where all my I think I had 1 or 2 bullets on each gun, and that was it. So like I had a scavenger to find stuff, so I had to spend time doing that, which I get because that's the point. That's part of the game is to do that, like, which is fine. But in terms of like for now, like at least right now at the point I'm at, I'm like I just want to get through this. So it's like, but you can't. There's only so much you can do without still spending time scavenging because you need to get the ammo and everything. Like unless you're perfect with stealth, which. Like, I'm not
I've heard of a lot of people like essentially running through some of those encounters. Like the second you get to the point where you can see where the ending is.
Oh, true.
You can damn near run to the end of it.
That's true. And there's been a couple times where I'm like, all right, there's still 3 enemies, but they're all the way over there. There's the door I gotta go. I'm out of here. Like, I have done that a couple times.
There are some options for that there too. And I said, and when you get into the upgrade system, they're gonna have more options to like manufacture. Bullets and things like that later on too. So like, it transcends. Like I said, it really transcends what I was anticipating in the game. It made me feel so many different things that I was just like not okay with, and then realized like, okay, like maybe this is why I should be okay with this. Cool. And there's a lot, and it's just, it's a very progressive story too. Like there's so many things that are happening in this 30 hours that are just so unique to this medium and like, I think kind of important. And it's going to be dissected and talked about for a long, long time. And it is just absolutely great. That's all I can say without killing it.
Perfect, man.
That's all you played though, right? That was your last point.
That was it.
I didn't mean to steal that on you, but
no, I'm
okay.
Good.
Lastly, so I talked about like I need to play something different now, right? So after I rewatched Last of Us 2, I started playing Kentucky Route Zero.
What is that? I saw you play that the other night.
Okay,
like, that sounds familiar.
I mean, I don't know why I'm going from one mind fuck to a different one, but here I did. So, Kentucky Route Zero it's an adventure game, is the best way to put it. The story is it's in that classic like adventure style, where it's just like you have kind of like the backdrop, you have your character moving back and forth, and you're encountering different people to get to your end goal. Okay. The end goal, you are so you start the game off as Conway. Conway is a delivery driver for an antique salesperson. So you're trying to get an antique from where you start the game, which is like a gas station, to your delivery, but you don't know where the delivery is. Okay. So the whole point of the game is to get from where you're at to the delivery section. But everything is like, it's not supernatural. But it's everything feels like a Twilight Zone.
Okay.
But not the same Twilight Zone. It's like if you were to watch like 6 Twilight Zone episodes at the same time, this is what the game you get.
Okay.
It's like everyone kind of talks a little funny. Like maybe this person's a ghost. I don't know.
Sure.
And then and everyone's talking about, to get to this point, you need to take Route 0. No one knows where Route 0 is.
Okay.
So I am, and in the first couple portions of the game, I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to go to these different areas to find out where Route 0 is. But as I'm doing that, I'm picking up different characters. So I have Conway, who is a delivery driver. I have Shannon, who is a TV repair person that lives in this town. I just picked up someone called Ezra. I don't know what his deal is yet, but he has someone who he calls a brother, who is this giant bald eagle who carries houses around to the forest and back, because people can sleep in the forest because it's quiet there. They can't sleep in the city.
Okay.
Just kind of give you an idea of what the hell is going on in this goddamn game.
Interesting.
And what I absolutely do love about it so far, it is so playful in a way that they're trying to tell you the story and taking away everything that you think you know about games and just doing all kinds of madness. So classic adventure game, meet somebody, they give me a piece of dialogue, right? They what are you doing here? And then I'll get I'll get dialogue options for both, one for Conway, one for Shannon, one for Ezra, and another one for Conway that says nothing. Just completely gone. Okay. So and then I make one of the choices, and then all the other ones are gone forever. Same thing with different places to look at. There was one recently where I was looking at a motorcycle, and it let me look at the sidecar, the headlight, and something else. And I only looked at the headlight, and it told me something about it, but I couldn't go back and look at the other stuff. So I don't know if ultimately I'm getting to a point where I'm creating this crazy tree of things happening based on my choices. But also when you go into different sections, the narrative completely changes where I'm moving from place to place, and as opposed to Conway seeing this and that, I'm hearing a security guard who is watching me through a camera describe what Conway's doing. So it's every time I go to some place, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen.
Right.
It's constantly crazy. And this game was released on PC over a span of 7 years.
Holy shit.
It is episodic, but it's done in acts.
Okay.
It's not. It's Act 1, Act 2,
Got
Act 3,
it.
Act 4.
Yeah.
There's 5 acts, and each act has an interlude in the middle of it too.
Okay.
And the interlude pieces kind of give you a little bit more idea of at least one of the characters so far. I've finished Act 1, Act 2, and the interlude before Act 3, and did a little bit of Act 3.
Okay.
The interlude between 2 and 3 is a play. A play is going on. I am just watching a play. And then you can move all 360, and I'm watching the play is happening. If I look over at a jukebox, it's giving me the audio cues for the play.
Oh, okay.
If I look over a little bit further, there's the set director and the director, the writer of the play, all there, and they give me just a little. Every act gives me a different one of them to talk to, listen to. I turn around and look at the crowd, and the crowd is giving me someone in the crowd was giving a review to a newspaper, so I'm reading the review of the play that's going on in the front. So I turn around and watch this play, and they keep talking about this. Essentially what these people did is they smashed 2 plays together from some local playwright. And one of them's called, and it's all done in a bar. And these people are talking about debts and things like that. And then they're talking about the barfly. And it's oh man, at least I'm not as bad as that barfly over there in the corner. He's hunched over in the corner. I keep looking in the corner. No one's over there. And it's and they keep mentioning this barfly over and over and over again. I'm what there's no one over there. And I look down oh shit, I'm the barfly. I'm the guy that everyone's kind of making fun of. And it's just and the whole idea is that the barfly doesn't have any lines. He's pantomiming stuff.
Okay.
And I was doing that. I was looking around, who are you talking about? I was just you know what I mean? So it's just
oh, that's crazy.
because I just didn't happen to look down.
Right.
I looked up, I looked side to side. I just didn't look down for the first 2 acts. There's 4-act play. It's just stuff like that. It's just
crazy.
It's just I said, it's just super playful. And even when you go into options and they have I go to options, it's I always go into options every single game I always go to, and there's multiplayer. I'm multiplayer? What the fuck is multiplayer? I go in there, it's just next time you go to an object and you think of the person in the room, hand them the controller and don't say anything. That's the multiplayer.
Okay.
And then and even at the it's and like I said, everything is just different. So even when you go and finish moving some options around, the very bottom, it's the options for text size is human, and then it's elephant, which is huge, and then bug, which is really tiny. So if you change an option, it doesn't say save or cancel. It says remember or forget. Just everything is just like that.
That's interesting.
It is very artsy. It is it feels like an art house, all kinds of things going on, and just But like the at the end of the day, I'm just trying to get this delivery from where I started to that street address.
Yeah.
And like I'm on route. I found Route 0 finally, so I got that type of thing. And it's just like I don't know what's gonna go next, but I want to see because I was like, how does this even end?
Right,
like this is
right.
like this has been like 3 acts of just like insanity.
Right,
like
yeah.
how is this gonna end? And with something that's really and like this is one of those things. It's just like there was no need for this to be in this game, but I adore it for being there. You can drive the delivery truck, but the way they drive it is like they show you a map and then you move around the map. Like you can see like a wheel like moving and you like follow the roads and you can go anywhere in this town. And you can drive all over the place, and all of a sudden, it's like some things come up. Like, it'll say like museum, and then you can click on the museum. You don't go in, but it gives like a full description of the museum, and it gives you like choices and more things to do. So like it's just constantly, and even that is super playful. And like there was one where I came up to it, and it was just like, it's just an airplane. So I clicked it, and the game like did a quick little loading screen, and I looked into it, and I can see, and they gave me a screen, and it was 2 guys pushing like one of those like one prop airplanes like down the street.
Okay.
And my guy's just standing there, and it's like very low res, by the way. There's like no faces.
Sure.
Like it's very like muted, minimalistic like art for everything, which really helps this whole thing. Again, it kind of gives you the whole mystery of like I don't know what the hell's going on.
Right.
So I didn't know what these people look like. So these 2 people that are pushing this plane down like down this side of the screen, and it's going really slow, and you can keep like commenting on these people like, oh, they don't have any shoes on. These people look really tired. And like you keep commenting. And then all of a sudden the plane is off the screen, and that's it. You get back in your truck and go.
Okay.
Like, it's just like, again, and because there's so many different like options and trees and things, like, am I missing something?
Right. Yeah.
Or is this just what's going on?
Huh.
It is a journey. And like I said, it's each act is like an hour and a half.
Okay.
So it's not long. So like, I don't know, like I said, the 7-year thing, I just feel like it was just like they made an act, went away. Like, I got an idea.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, hold on. I got an idea. And then they put it back out there, like
Gotcha.
It is bonkers, but I'm like, I'm totally invested in it though, because I just want to see what is going on.
Right,
what is happening? Just like,
where's this going?
Like I'm in the smack dab in the middle of like the kookiest Twilight Zone of all time.
Yeah.
Like I need to see it to the end and see what happens. So yeah, my mind is scrambled eggs between all this stuff I've been playing. So
Interesting.
All right, I am done babbling about my weird alone times in my room.
Oh my god, that's so crazy.
Yeah, it's hard to recommend because like, man, it's one of those things where like I would recommend someone watch it almost and be just kind of like just like watch the first act and see what you think, and if you're like intrigued, go with it because it only gets weirder from there. So but I also haven't finished it yet, so I mean, it's going to be a thing. Like, if it gets to the very end and be like, there's nothing, like it's just nonsense.
I'd be so pissed.
I'd be so pissed. It's 7 hours of nonsense. Thanks for your time. I won't be happy, but I
Lost.
No, we can't talk about Lost right now. We got so much to do.
Sorry.
Oh my god. Actually, at this point, I don't think I can even intelligently talk about Lost because it's been so long since I watched it.
Oh, same here. I just remember hearing about the ending. I didn't watch the ending. I just remember hearing about the ending. I'm like, I'm glad I dropped off.
Oh my goodness. All right, that's all my psychobabble I have. The steak was coming out next couple of weeks.
All right, not too much. Thank God. Jesus. My wallet needs a break. July 28th, Destroy All Humans for PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Stadia. It's the remaster of the original game. Demo is available on Xbox currently.
Along with 70 other games?
70 other games, which I didn't talk about them, but I did download like 6 of them.
Okay.
I played 2 of them. One of them took 10 minutes to load. So that was interesting. And then when I finally did play it, it was interesting. It's called Haven. It was interesting, but inevitably,
A lot of people. Oh man, you keep talking. There's one that I think you might like.
And then the other one I played was called Hellpoint because I was like, "Oh, this looks like dark and awesome." It's basically Dark Souls like. Oh, so cool, but yeah, I'm good. Like
that's the ID at Xbox, right?
Yeah, ID at Xbox. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a demo for that. So if you want to check it out, on July 30th, Yakuza Kiwami 2 is coming to Xbox One and also Xbox Game Pass.
There you go.
And if you did not know, that is one of my favorites. So jump on that. And last but not least, on July 31st, I know I've been seeing a lot of hype for this, so I just figured people might be interested. Fairy Tail. It's a very popular anime.
Oh.
They're finally getting a game. It was supposed to come out earlier this year. It got delayed. It's finally coming out July 31st for PC, Switch, and PS4.
So the game I was talking about, I didn't play it. I'm just going off of what I heard. It's called Chris Tales. CRIS.
I have it downloaded on my Switch, the demo. I've not had a chance to try it.
It looks like it's like Persona, like kind of graphics, like the whole like super stylized, text and things like that.
Yeah.
But what's interesting about it, it divvies the screen up in third. So your character's in the middle.
Okay.
And the middle is a present, the left side is the past, and the right side is the future. So, and it's all running at the same time. So, like when you're moving around environments, you can kind of see, the past, present, and future of where you're in. So, like, I think that's just kind of, again, it's just a very unique thing on top of having, like, an RPG that may or may not be good. So, I mean, it's definitely a unique idea. So,
cool.
I've seen a lot of people talk about it.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of people talk. That's why, when I saw it, because before I knew it was on Xbox, I saw someone say, "Hey, this demo's available on Switch." I went and downloaded it right away. Not had a chance to check it out yet, but then I looked at the screenshots and I was like, "Yeah, this is something I need to try."
Yeah, it looks up your alley.
So, but that's it for the new releases and everything.
All right, so let's get into it. Extra, and we got to do at least one extra.
News.
The news. We miss him. I know, it's this void. So
lots of events have happened.
Lots of events. So I think we're definitely gonna go over the Microsoft one today. There was Ubisoft, there was Devolver, there was I'm missing one.
Nintendo.
Oh,
how can you forget about
the
mini partner direct?
That was a
literal mini.
That was addition by subtraction. What I was trying to do right there. Yeah. All right. So I think, I can let you go. I definitely think we should do Microsoft last.
Yes. Well, I'm going to do it. I think I believe this is going to be the order that it happened.
Okay.
So I think. So we'll start with Devolver. So Devolver kicked off things with showing off the first gameplay at Shadow Warrior 3. Looks fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I bought Shadow Warrior 1 randomly because I just got my PlayStation 4 and I was kind of looking for something to play, and I think that was on sale. And I really enjoyed it. I never played 2. I recommended it to you. I think you played it too.
1, I never finished it, but 1 was awesome.
I think Shadow Warrior, now I think about it, I think Shadow Warrior is the first game I finished on my PlayStation 4, which is weird.
Nice.
It's like the beautiful, like, tongue-in-cheek kind of comedy, but on top of it just being like crazy demon killing action, like, yeah. And it's just like, it was just fun. Like, it's so much fun. It's a video game as a video game, and I really do appreciate them. So I'm glad to get a new one.
No, 100% agree. I am super pumped for the third one. Yeah, like I said, same here. Like I said, never finished the first one, but the second one I never even started. One of these days I should just go through those.
It's so good.
After that, they showed off Elijah, which is coming to this fall to PC and Nintendo Switch. It's a Prince of Persia inspired action adventure featuring a shipwrecked captain and a country full of people who don't really want him to be there.
Yeah, I may, man.
That sounds awesome.
I agree.
I'm gonna be honest. There's a lot of these I did not see the video for. I did not end up watching this. I have a rundown here, but that sounds awesome.
I did. I guess I'm. Well, okay. I'll get into the video presentation when we're all said and done.
Oh well, it's Devolver. So the video presentation, I'm sure, was amazing. I totally forgot that this even happened when you mentioned it. I was like, oh, that's great. That did happen. So one of these, I'll watch it soon again just to watch it myself, but. After that, they show off Fall Guys, which is a 60-player battle royale game show coming to PC and PS4 on August 4th. So soon. And we got to look at many of its mini games and costumes, including a pre-order exclusive Half-Life outfit to grab on PC. That's
Dude,
cool.
I am so excited for Fall Guys. I think that's gonna be so much fun to play. Have you seen it? You've seen that though, right?
I don't think so. I don't know if I have.
Remember when we played?
Is this the one you were talking about before?
Yes.
Okay.
It says 60 player, right?
60 player. Yes.
Yeah, it's just like 60 player, and you're playing like some weird mix of that. Oh my god, Gang Beasts, like the goofy like jelly motion.
Yep.
And Wipeout.
Right.
But it's like video gamey, so it's just like the biggest things happening.
Right.
So like it looks like just like so many it looks so stupidly fun. I'm just so excited for that game. It's gonna be so much. It's gonna be so much fun.
Cool. No, that sounds like fun. After that, they showed off Carry On, which is a tentacle propelled reverse horror game. It's coming out. It's out now.
Yep.
On PC, Switch, and Xbox One, and is available on Game Pass.
Yes.
On Xbox One, I downloaded it. Have not played it yet, but I
Me
downloaded
too.
it. Yes, I saw it. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, and it's getting reviewed really well.
It is. It's supposed to be awesome. Like,
I'm
it's
excited
supposed to
for
be
that
like
one.
the monster horror game you've always wanted.
I'm
Basically, is what everyone's saying.
I'm probably going to play next because again, I can't imagine anything be different than what I've been playing as for Carry On. So like, I think that's going to be my next jam.
Awesome. After that, they got another peek at Serious Sam 4. So it's coming August. It's going to be coming out in August for PC and Stadia.
Yep.
I haven't seen this, but I'm assuming if you like the Serious Sam's games, it's the same thing. You're going to love it.
Yep.
So, yep. After that, they showed Blightbound, which is an online and local multiplayer dungeon brawler. Ooh. Steam Early Access, coming on July 29th. And they got a look, and they showed off the first 3 classes, multiple worlds, puzzles, and lots of combat.
I watched this, and I don't remember that at all.
Okay.
So I have nothing to say about that.
That says everything.
It might be good. I don't remember it.
Fair enough. Last but not least, Weird West. It's a fresh look at this new isometric, immersive sim from the co-creators of Dishonored and Prey. Okay, so that's a good start. Weird West is due in 2021. It's an action RPG, which has you playing as 5 gunslingers in a fantastical take on the Old West.
Yeah, it looked fun. Yeah, that's definitely one you got to see to kind of understand. But yeah, that one looked fun. But that's the end of it, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I mean, if you've watched any of Devolver's E3 stuff, you know it's just
so ridiculous.
It's batshit. And also
awesome.
And then God, something Smothers. What's the lady's name? Whatever. Their fake CEO.
Right. Yeah. She's awesome.
Also showed up, and I don't know if you. I didn't realize this when it happened, but she showed up on the PlayStation 5 event. Do you see that?
Yes. She did, which was awesome when she showed up. Like everyone,
it's just so good.
I remember everyone was like, "Wait,
yeah."
What?
So she's in the PlayStation 5 universe. Apparently. Yeah. I mean, they always have like this huge, big, elaborate like batshit show where it's just like these fake CEOs like having this.
Right.
They got into the point of like mind control and all this and this this craziness, and she like died at the end of the last one, but she made it back.
Right.
So like honestly, like this was one of those things I was kind of jazzed for this one because I love Devolver and like there's some stuff on here that I really like, but it's just like I felt it was like I think it was like a half an hour long.
Okay.
And it was like 20 minutes of like story of like of like their stuff.
That sounds about
as
right.
opposed to like the games. There's just like
2 minutes per trailer and then everything else.
Yeah, it kind of felt that way. And it was great. It was funny. And it was wild and it was batshit crazy. So like I mean like I love Devolver. I love their vibe. I love who they are. I love their Twitter handle. I love everything. They're a bright shining star in this industry, and I love them. And you did sort of show some interesting stuff here, but I was just like I felt like I tuned in more for like what was going to happen, as opposed to their games.
Cool game, come on.
Let's exactly. Yeah, like what happened to her?
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'll have to make sure I watch that.
Totally worth it.
Cool. All right, so Ubisoft is decided to have an Ubisoft Forward, which is what originally I thought was going to be their E3 event.
Yes.
I was wrong.
Yes. Me too. I thought the same exact thing.
I totally thought it was going to be E3, but it was not. So I was preparing myself for a good, hour and a half to 2 hours of Caffeine Man, or Nisha Tyler, which is fine.
Lots of Just Dance.
Yeah. Surprisingly, in this we got no Just Dance.
End of an era, man. End of an era. They're not doing a Wii anymore, so why even do this? Why even do this anymore?
Well, they're having another one in September, so
yeah, that's true.
So Ubisoft is basically taking the trend of some of these other companies where they're going to do their own digital thing now, which, whatever. I think this is going to get out of hand, just like streaming services in general.
Watch the Devolver
yeah.
showcase.
Okay.
That's kind of what happened.
God, I really want to watch it. God, I don't care how tired I am. We're done with this. I might watch it before we go to bed now. Okay, so Ubisoft Forward. So they kicked things off with Watch Dogs Legion, which lasted for like 20 minutes. Jesus.
Yep.
Like there was like a movie story thing.
Yep.
And then we got into the actual gameplay. Yep. And then we got into developers talking about the gameplay. Oh my God. All right. So it was a lot. Looks cool.
Yeah.
I'll wait for deep discount, honestly.
Yeah. I was high on it when they showed it last year at E3. Yeah. I think it was. I do love the idea of the whole like any person can be part of your crew. And I like that you have a crew to choose. Like when you start recruiting all these people, you might have like 10, 12, 15 people to choose from for each mission. Really cool. I think it's an amazing idea. I am concerned now because I think we were talking about Watch Dogs last time, and Art talked about how it was like the classic like first Ubisoft game. Like, you know, it was like it's not bad, right? But it's not as good as like, excuse me, oh my God, orange. It's not like, you know, Assassin's Creed and Assassin's Creed 2, massive leap, and then like same thing with Watch Dogs and Watch Dogs 2 and a bunch of other games. So I'm concerned like this is just too new, and it's gonna be more like Watch Dogs Legion 1, as opposed, and you know what I mean, like as opposed to Watch Dogs 3.
I 100% agree with you. It's like the Watch Dog vibe, but a whole nother new.
It's completely different systems.
It's completely different. But yeah. I think it's really cool that because it depends on who you are is how the story goes, which that is awesome. Like the concept and the idea is fantastic, but like you said, the fact that this might be Legion 1 makes me a little worried about that, because it's like, all right, it's gonna work at times, and then other times it's not gonna work. It's kind of the vibe I get.
And also, I also feel like it's ultimately not gonna make that big of a difference who you choose, And like I also
the granny.
Well,
I kind of want to.
She clearly plays differently. So
kind of like the granny.
It's an army of grannies.
Does that ruin the game? He plays the granny for the whole thing. Like,
oh my God,
sees the purpose of this game.
I'm a little concerned, being like, okay, if I don't have the right person for this job, if I haven't recruited them yet, can I even do this mission type of stuff?
Absolutely.
And like I like the minute to minute type of stuff is where I'm kind of at with it. I mean, like I want to like if it's like the minute to minute. With like I feel like there's so much going on in this game between like that system and like the open world, and you know the bad guys were constantly seem like they're, you know, changing. They have different areas and ways that they attack, and like I also feel like if I'm playing like a stealth game, like if I'm playing, you know, a Solid Snake and I'm going into a base, like I have a bunch of things that I can do to get to the final objective.
Sure.
If I'm going in as a tech expert and I mess that up, or like there's no way around this thing, I have to fight this guy.
Right. And you're the granny.
Yeah. So I mean, like, how does that even work?
Right.
So like that's my kind of the moment to moment, like how that's gonna work is kind of giving me a little pause on it. It looks great. I like the vibe of it in terms of just like the tone. But I have some gameplay concerns.
Absolutely, and you could tell Ubisoft's having fun with it too, though, from their trailers, which is good.
Which is very good.
But they did announce it's coming October 29th, and it will be smart delivery on Xbox Series X. So that's great. So after that, we got into some more interesting. Not so interesting.
Yeah.
Brawlhalla again.
Yeah.
God damn it. They talk about this every fucking year. Do people really play Brawlhalla?
Apparently.
Like, I guess so. Because this is crazy.
It's a Sims 4 of Ubisoft.
Yeah. But I guess it's coming to iOS and Android August 6th. So there you go.
Be excited.
Woo! And then after that, we got into more mobile. Jesus Christ. Might and Magic, Era of Chaos, that supposedly has millions of players.
Cool.
Bullshit. But it has millions of players, I guess. And just saying that, hey, this game still exists.
Cool.
Like that's seriously what it was, right? Like they didn't reveal really anything, or like, I think you got some like perks. Like if you like scan the QR code during the trailer.
I'm sure there's a million people that are super excited about that. I am not on that boat. I'm not on that boat.
No. Then we got yet another trailer, another game they've been talking about for a while that's still not out on mobile, Elite Squad.
Yes, I forgot that existed. I'm like, what is this?
Oh my God.
Siege
when
thing?
They showed that, I was like, oh my god, they talked about this to a big extent at last E3.
Well, it's like the first time when they were showing the trailer, it was just Siege characters. I'm like, what's Montaigne doing in this game? And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh yeah, that's right, Splinter Cell. That's right, that's the mobile thing.
Pre-register now, so I guess we're getting closer to
Huzzah.
whatever. Don't care. So then we get into Rainbow Six Siege, which I wish Art was here for.
I know, me
this,
too.
because it was a thank you video.
Yep. I don't think that's what Art wanted. based on the conversation we had last time.
We will talk for Art. He's not very happy about it.
He wanted answers. He got no answers.
He wanted to know if he can play his game on PS5.
And I'm
probably.
I hope so.
I hope so. Jesus.
Not just for Art's sake, but just for
Yes. But
everyone's sake.
What was the point of this thank you video?
I hit the fast forward a lot on this one.
Oh, yeah. I'm so mad. I actually watched this live. I'm so mad at myself.
Oh man.
It was. Oh my god, just as bad as the EA. Until we get to close a little. This kind of helped a little. I still don't care about this game personally. So then after this, they got into Hyperspace, which is their new battle royale type game. They're super into it. I do think it's interesting. I think it is a little bit different from your typical battle royale games. But this one just went on and on and on. And then they were talking about the character design. And I'm just like, oh my God, like the game's out. Like people are playing it like right now.
It is a annual tradition that Ubisoft's going to spend way too much time on something. And Hyperspace. Here we go. Yeah. Here we go.
Rainbow Six thank you video in Hyperspace. So if you're enjoying Hyperspace, I hope you are, because it does look like a little bit different. After that, we got into some Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yeah.
Looks fantastic.
Yes, it does. All right.
It looks really good.
Let's turn this thing around here. What blows my mind is, there was a lot of talking about like the female male protagonists in Odyssey. I almost said Origins, Odyssey, and how about like Cassandra was supposed to be the main character, and they were like, men need to sell this and buy it, so they put a man in there.
Right.
And this one, they had the same kind of thing, but doesn't make any sense to me. It sounds like you can just switch them on the fly.
Yes.
So it's
the same character.
Same character.
Same character.
So, and you can switch male, female whenever you want as you go back and forth. So I can't. So like, it's one of those things where it's like, I think that's almost better because you get one story.
Yes.
So I appreciate that. I mean, and Norse mythology does a lot of those type of things anyway. Right. So like, I feel like they're delving more into like, I'll use the word mythology because I'm stupid. Yeah. So like they're mythology and kind of playing along with that kind of stuff. And they had like Odin in the last trailer and things like that. Right. So cool.
Yes.
Gameplay looked great. I love the idea of just like rolling around in my boat and be all of a sudden looking up someplace and like, we're gonna raid that shit and then blow the horn and you're raiding a village. Woo wee! That looks great.
That was so cool. I think the biggest problem 2 days before Cyberpunk comes out is when this comes out.
Maybe.
Dude, it's like,
I know.
Come on. Like, are you kidding me? Like, shit. Like, come on. So, because Cyberpunk's on the 19th. This is on the 17th. Like, two big open world games like that. It's just like, God. It
does sound like they're being more focused, like Ubisoft in this game is, which is really good. Because I really dug Odyssey, but I had the thing was just like, I don't know what to do. Like, there's so much going on. I don't know what to do.
Absolutely. And I do think this one's a little more, like, obviously you're going to, it's still Assassin's Creed, so you're still going to be able to go out and do stuff, but it is a little more, like you said, it is a little more focused. Like, hey, here we go. And also, I think having the one, technically one character is going to help that.
Yeah. But like you said, I mean, Cyberpunk is, might be the biggest thing that happens this year. Well, so like,
and we'll get into the.
Yeah, we realize it. That's called foreshadowing. So.
I crack up right now. It's so great.
I totally feel you, and like I want, and like I will also in the back of my mind as like the consumer know that like Odyssey gets cheap.
Oh, dude. I do this every year. Every freaking time. I did this. I mean, I did this with Origin, but Origin was different.
Yeah,
it was
a new like adventure.
It was a new adventure. It was Egyptian, which is my all-time favorite history. And I'm not a big history buff, but I absolutely love ancient Egypt. So I was like, okay, I need to get this day one. I bought the gold edition. I was like, and then still have maintenance to this thing. But whatever. I legit, when they started talking about this a couple months ago, I tried popping Origins back in. It is not easy to jump back into these new Assassin's Creed.
I believe that.
For an hour, I was trying to figure out the controls, and I kept dying, and I gave up.
I believe that.
So that's kind of sucked, because it's like I do kind of want to get back to it, though.
Okay. Yeah. Circling back to Last of Us 2 real quick. Something I really do appreciate about Last of Us, it feels like there's some times where like you won't necessarily use mechanic for a while in the game, even though I've been pretty steadily playing it, and it will remind me like, hey, by the way, press this button to do this thing. I am shocked that like a game like Origins, which is big and huge, doesn't have that thing where be like, hey, FYI, reminder, here's how to attack, here's how to dodge, here's how to do this. Like, especially
when the game notices you're struggling. Like,
right, exactly. and Last of Us 2 does it really well too. There was a couple encounters I died like 2 or 3 times, and then when you die, the loading screen comes up, and the loading screen, it gives you like little hints. And I was just like, they're kind of pointed at you at that moment.
Right.
And they'll tell you kind of to be like, okay, that's okay. Let me try something involving what they kind of just talked about, and I end up getting past it. So like, games recognize you struggling. You know what I mean? Right. So like having like some kind of like pop up being like, all right, hey, press this button to go back to the tutorial, like go into the tutorial like menu or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's got to be something in there.
Yep. No, absolutely, I agree. So I picked up Odyssey Black Friday. For $30, like half the price, but I still have yet to like really start it, like to this day. So and right now I currently have Valhalla Gold Edition reserved, like, but it's like I keep telling myself just wait, like yeah. So that is the plan. So we'll see. So after that, so then there's one more thing to close out the show. Far Cry 6.
Yeah.
It looks so good.
Yeah.
It's what's his name? Gus from Breaking Bad.
I don't know his name. I'm bad with names. And like the whole, I mean, it looks like, the same level of bonkers as all these Far Cry games look like now. It's finding different areas to find different crazy people. And then like ultimately when you're watching it, and he had that little kid in there, right?
Yeah.
There's something kind of funky about that little kid. Right. And I was talking like maybe that's Voss, who is from Far Cry 3.
Oh, okay.
They have a similar, I guess, like scar on their eyebrow.
Oh, okay.
And again, that may or may not be. Because again, all the timelines are always kind of ambiguous when you're talking, when you're looking at all these different games. I kind of jumped in. I said, I really didn't jump into Far Cry till 5. I'm aware of 3. I think I even purchased it. I was the same thing with 4. I purchased it and didn't play
it.
Yeah. But it really does feel like it doesn't really give you a ton of information on Far Cry 6, which is fine. But they became almost annualized for a while, where it's just like Far Cry 4, and then they had the Primal, and then 5, and then like, so I don't know if they're breaking.
And then New Dawn.
Then New Dawn. Yep. And then thank you. Then New Dawn. Then they didn't have anything come out that the year after New Dawn.
This was the one year that they've took it off.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, maybe this is what their next thing is.
Right.
So it's but also does look like, man, it's beautiful though, man. That looks so good.
Did you see the screenshots of like direct feed?
No.
So shortly after this event, they had I forget who Nibble.
Oh yeah.
On Twitter.
Yeah.
He posted direct feed screenshots of this game.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Oh my god. Like it looks stupidly amazing. Like and then I saw a tweet. I don't know if this I keep forgetting to look if it's legit or not, but supposedly the 4K is on Series X but not PS5 for this game.
How's it even possible?
I think just however it's working, or they get, because it seems like Microsoft has a thing with Ubisoft.
I would agree with that.
Because they were advertising Valhalla like with the Series X and everything. So I think they might have given them like an inside look on like how the Series X works ahead of time. But like I said, I got to double check this tweet to make sure it's legit. But it looked like it came from the Ubisoft support, like actual like a response to someone, and they said that the reason why because it says 4K on the Xbox box, does not say it on the PlayStation box.
How is anything on PlayStation 5 not 4K?
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with
Just going with the facts from the internet.
Just from what I've seen, like I said, I got to double check.
Yeah.
But those screenshots are so pretty.
Yeah. And like I said, that the whole fucking whatchamacallit? The CG trailer.
Oh my
like
god!
The way it ended and just everything else. It's just I'm in for that story.
I was good. Yeah, exactly. Like that was the thing. Like normally I prefer some gameplay in my trailers, but for that one, like it's Far Cry.
And yeah, exactly.
We know what we're getting.
Yeah, exactly.
We know at this point what we're getting in terms of that.
Yeah.
So let me know what the story is going on, and Gus was just an amazing villain in Breaking Bad, and like bringing him into a video game now is like yes, this is awesome. So that wrapped up Ubisoft Forward. There's another one coming in September.
Apparently.
I'm hoping for that one we get some Gods and Monsters.
I was thinking they didn't have that at all, and it was supposed to come out this year, right?
It was supposed to, not anymore. I don't think.
All right, fair enough.
I think originally it was supposed to, and then I think they announced like randomly one day that this has been delayed.
You can't fault a single publisher for missing marks this year.
No,
so
absolutely not. No, exactly. With everything going on, I mean, I have a feeling that game was going to miss anything because last E3 they barely showed anything. And then it was supposed to come out in like February.
Yeah, no, it's nonsense.
So like that was weird. That was just really weird. But I wanted to see more of that for sure. And Beyond Good and Evil 2.
That game doesn't exist.
No, it does. Mike, it does. I need that.
It doesn't exist.
So we'll see. We'll see what else we got coming from Ubisoft. And then also we still have Rainbow Six Quarantine.
Oh,
which
yeah.
disappeared.
Totally forgot about that.
But yeah, Ubisoft Forward.
It's fine.
A little bit better than the EA one. The EA play is still the worst out of all of it. That was bad.
Would agree. Well, I don't know.
Star Wars Squadrons was like the only thing that thing.
We have a pretty strong contender coming up here in a minute.
All right. So Nintendo had a mini direct. It was rumored forever. 8 minutes long.
That people were just so pumped. There's so much stuff. There's going to be Mother 3 and all these things coming up.
So there is one thing I cannot stand on Twitter in this day and age right now, and that is Nintendo fanboys.
Super hype.
They are driving me nuts. They're driving me insane. It's like people, I understand that we don't have any first party games going forward. Paper Mario was the last one for the rest of the year as of right now.
As of right now.
I get it, of course, but that was announced and then a month later it came out.
Right, I'm saying there's possibilities the other thing might come up still.
Stuff's coming, guys. It's Nintendo. Stuff is coming. We know that stuff is coming. But just, God, shut up. Like, it's just annoying. So this Nintendo Mini Direct was a partner Mini Direct.
Correct.
On top of that. So thankfully they did announce it the night before.
Correct.
Which a lot of people missed. But so it's a partner. So it has nothing to do with first party. So they kick things off with Candace of Hyrule. The Crypt of the Necro Dancer. So this is the game that is the Crypt of the Necro Dancer that's in the Zelda style.
Right.
So there's 3 DLCs coming. There's one available now. There's also a season pass available, and a physical copy is coming out on October 23rd, and it's going to include everything. Wait, if you have been waiting for it, just get that. Yeah. It's going to be, the price is going to be the best for that. I think it's like $39.99 for everything, and you get a nice physical.
Yeah, right.
So there's that. Then we got a new trailer and some gameplay for Rogue Company. This is something they showed off at one of the other directs. This is kind of like their MOBA game, right?
Oh, that's what it is.
Like, I think it was like a MOBA.
I don't know if it was a MOBA or is it like a
It wasn't battle royale.
I thought it was like a hero shooter type of a deal.
Kind of like
which is kind of a MOBA.
Kind of like a MOBA meets Overwatch.
Yeah,
somewhere in between there. It's out now.
Cool.
Everyone says it's fun for like a little bit and then gets boring.
Like most of those games?
Pretty much. After that, we got a trailer for WWE 2K Battlegrounds.
Cool.
Coming September 18th. When that is dirt cheap, I'll pick it up.
I think so too. I was thinking that too because it's like it is very arcadey when it's just like they're really flying way up in the air and doing these crazy slams and
throwing guys into crocodiles' mouths.
Yeah, the wrestlers were super annoying while they were playing the game, but the game itself looked very interesting.
Jesus, that was ridiculous.
Too much.
That was a terrible trailer.
Too much.
But when it's like $20 or less, I'm all over it. So then after that, we got 2 special announcements, actually. So this was probably the best thing of this whole thing, at least for me. Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne is getting an HD remaster, which is awesome. I missed that on PS2. I hear it is just fantastic. It's one of those games that barely anyone played, but it's awesome.
This is like I don't know anything about these games. So this is like
Super JRPG.
Right, this is like the other side of the coin of like Persona, right? Is that the kind of what is it's okay.
So Shin Megami Tensei is a whole nother RPG, like turn-based.
But it's like same like
game.
people, right, or something.
It's a similar world.
Okay.
Similar worlds, because like you'll see a lot of the similar enemies.
I mean, like similar like studio and like the same like people
Atlas.
making it.
It's Atlas.
Okay.
Yes, it's Atlas. Yes, this is all Atlas.
Okay.
So same people and everything. But and they all take place in like a same type of universe. Because like you'll see like the Jack Frost that was in this trailer is in the Persona games and stuff like that. Nocturne is supposed to be fantastic. I never have gotten a chance to experience it myself. So spring 2021, it's coming. I'm super excited for it. Then after they teased us, so they said there was one more announcement, but then there was one after that.
You're right.
Shin Megami Tensei 5. This is the first time they've shown this since the Switch reveal.
Oh my god! I didn't know there was still a thing.
Yes. So the Switch reveal was the last time they talked about this.
Oh my
so they
god!
They showed off a new trailer for this. Looks great. Looks very Persona-y in terms of the style of it, which is cool, which is fine. Looks very good, and it's coming in 2021. So I'm assuming since Nocturne spring 2021, I'm gonna assume this is gonna be like more like fall.
That makes sense.
2021 or even winter. And the huge part of this though is going to be a simultaneous worldwide release. This is huge for Atlas. Mm-hmm. Atlas does not do this. Mm-hmm. It's Japan, and then
months later.
We'll see.
Months later.
See.
Yeah.
I mean, we still don't even. They never even officially announced yet that Persona 5 Scramble, that the quote unquote sequel, technically to Persona 5, is coming to the US yet. And we all know it will, but it's been out for the Switch for a couple of months now, 2-3 months now, and over in Japan, but they still haven't even announced that it's coming to the US. It will, but it's crazy. Like, Atlas is nuts. But that was it. That's a Nintendo Mini Direct.
It was very mini.
So
okay, cool.
I hope we get an official one soon, just to not to shut people up. I just want to, but I want to shut people up.
Agreed. But also, I mean, Nintendo doesn't owe us a direct. Like these 3 things could have been easily just like put out there as like on their Twitter feed and called it a day, as opposed to being like, we're doing something soon, like we're doing this big reveal, and then they have like 2 or 3 things that no one cares about.
And that's the thing. This stuff, I agree with you on that. When it comes to your first party stuff,
yeah.
All right, we got a 35-minute direct coming about first party shit. And also, when they said mini partner direct, or when they first said like a partner direct, I was thinking, oh, well, that's fine, because that still means No More Heroes 3.
Right.
Bayonetta 3. Like, those are partners.
It's
those are
years.
not Nintendo.
Years.
Like, yeah. Nope. So I'm still excited for the Shin Megami Tensei stuff, because I'm a big JRPG fan. But otherwise, there was nothing.
Correct. All right, let's get into the main event here.
Let's get into this stuff. Here we go.
Microsoft's
Xbox
first party.
So, a couple of quick things from the pre-show.
Yeah.
So the pre-show was pretty boring. It was panels talking about stuff, which whatever.
I also realized we're not big on YouTube because we don't have enough hair dye.
Well, that's
we need more hair dye.
That's spray.
That's the only thing that's stopping us.
Not even hair dye. I want to spray paint my hair.
Yes.
I should have done bright green. For all this.
You blew it.
It's too late.
It's our one chance we had.
That's all right. When we do the unboxing of the Series X, I'll do it. So to kick off the pre-show, awesome. Dragon Quest XI-S coming to Xbox. This is the first time ever Dragon Quest is coming to Xbox. It's going to be available December 4th, and it's coming to Game Pass.
Yeah.
Thank you, so I don't have to buy it for a third time. I bought it on PS4. I bought the S version on Switch.
Oh, you did? I didn't know you did that.
I did.
Oh my god.
Because there's a lot of new stuff.
Yeah, and the whole like Switch,
stuff.
right?
And then there's the 2D version and all that stuff. So this is that version that's coming to Xbox.
Okay.
And then it was revealed it will be on PC and PS4 the same day. But not Game, but still Game Pass.
Yeah, right.
Awesome. So December 4th, super excited. And then they showed off a game called Exo Machina. something like that. It was a first-person shooter with like crazy mechs in there,
and Transformers, and dragons, and
cool. It seemed neat.
I feel like if I had a license for Unreal Engine 4, and had a few months to myself, I could have made a demo.
Yeah.
That was a thing. Like, cool. There's a lot of stuff.
Oh, sure.
It looked like, man, this is a lot of stuff going on here. It looked really, really cool. It looked like garbage. But there's a lot of really cool stuff going on right now.
It's going to be terrible. And then there was Hello Neighbor 2, the sequel to Hello Neighbor. So if you're into that game, I'm sure you're super pumped for that. It looked cool, honestly. I'll be honest. It did look cool. I think I mentioned in the live stream, you had me play that, and I just could not figure it out. But so good for them. And then the last big reveal. So it was announced about a week ago that Square Enix started a new action RPG studio called Balan Studio. We finally got more insight on this, which is way further than I thought it was going to. Holy shit. This actually blew my mind. Yuji Naka, if you don't know who that name is the co-creator of Sonic the Hedgehog and Knights from Sega. He is now the head of the studio. Oh my god.
And making like a new game in that vein.
Yes. Balan Wonderworld is coming in 2021. It'll be available on Switch, Xbox Series X, PS5, Game Pass on Xbox Series X. Basically, this is supposed to be the action game of all action RPGs. And there's like different like costumes and stuff like that. It reminds me kind of Kid Chameleon.
Okay, yeah, I can
from the Genesis era.
I hear you.
You put on a mask, you have these different powers because of what you're wearing.
What was the Zelda ripoff they had at the 360 launch? Cameo. It reminded me of Cameo. Is the vibes I got in that, because depending on wherever like mask you put on, like you changed everything you had, right? And it was like you would interact differently.
Sure. It looked great, I thought. Honestly, a very artsy kind of thing. But still looked good. I'm super excited for it. But holy shit, Yuji Naka is working at Square Enix. God, who knows what else could come of this? That's
the biggest news of all this. Like, yeah, that was crazy. That was a big announcement.
Yeah. So that was the pre-show. Pretty much. So let's kick off the actual Xbox event. So we started with what they've been teasing this for weeks. Halo Infinite. We got about 12 to 13 minutes of Halo Infinite. We got a CG trailer that led into the actual demo where you hit start to actually start the demo. So that was cool. And then followed by a little bit of development talk. So it's a return to form is basically kind of what the vibe I got. The stream itself. So just prove this. The stream itself was like visually.
Okay, I agree.
Know what I mean? Like visually was like weird. Like,
well, okay.
I don't know.
The first impression of this I had was they opened up like last year at E3 they showed that scene with Master Chief and that guy in the spacecraft, right? And they kind of open up with those two guys, and I'm like, man, that looks way worse than it did last year.
Yeah.
Which was like like noticeably different.
Right,
like I mean, and the whole like that's why like every single time like you see that like that trailer where it's just like, oh, an engine. Like I could not possibly care less about that. That's basically a CG trailer. Let's call it what it is.
Yep.
So instantly when you see that, be different is just like the initial vibe is just like that's not a good first step. Yeah. And later on, I'm going to jump the gun a little bit. Like, I don't know if you saw like they released like a bunch of like 4K screenshots and stuff like that.
I watched the entire stream again in 4K 60 frames. So much better. But for the most part.
Did you see the screenshots of it?
No, I did not see the screenshots.
Okay.
No.
I'm gonna quote, I'm not quoting, but I'm going to give Tim Geddes from Kind of Funny so the props on this one. He basically said This it looked exactly like the same Halo screenshot you've seen for 10 years. Like it, and nothing new, nothing different,
Sure.
nothing 4K, awesome.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
And but at the same point, right after that, he prefaced that he finished that thought with being like, I could not possibly care less because it looks amazing and I really want to play this game.
Sure. I agree. No, and I agree. And yeah, when I was watching the stream eventually, at first I was like, God, like this looks weird. And like, I felt like there were some issues going on. But again, my stream personally was having a lot of issues.
I switched off of where I was watching.
Yeah.
I was having so many issues.
It was crazy. So like I said, I rewatched the whole stream in 4K 60 frames to get my notes too. Oh my God, like this actually looks really good. Like this looks like Halo 5 post the Xbox One X patch.
Okay.
So like, I mean, it's great. It's 4K 60. It is, but this is gonna be a lot bigger environment too. And it's Halo. You know what I mean? I don't need this to be a technical spectral. Right. Like that was like, I mean, if you look at Halo on the original Xbox, it was not a technical, it was just a great game. Like, but I'm excited. I'm going to play through it.
Yeah. I'm not a Halo person.
I'm not huge into Halo, but I'm still going to play it.
I gave it a whirl a couple different times. And it never spoke to me. But I can tell you that all the people who like Halo like that trailer, and that's all I need to know. You know what I mean? So everyone seemed to be very into it, and
absolutely,
and that's what they should do, right? I mean, they should really be appealing to the people who are invested in having played 5 or 6 or 7 of these games, depending if you play like Wars or whatever it is,
right?
And go from there. What I did hear about this is like they're saying that. They got rid of the number for a reason, right? So this is gonna be like the kind of and they're gonna like build upon this as not quite as a game of service like a Destiny or something like that,
right.
But they're gonna be like building more and more single player like story missions along with this, and this is gonna be the last Halo standalone game. Like their plan is from here on out, I think go Destiny style with whatever comes next from here,
right?
Because that's obviously what kind of works in the industry with first person shooters right now,
right? And I can see that working for this. Like I can totally see this working. Like you keep it just releasing expansions. Like here's the next chapter of the story. Here's the next chapter of the story.
You have years and years of lore built up.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean? And all these different factions and things that you've established over time. Like now it makes more sense to build something like that as opposed to Destiny, was just like throwing him in and whatever it is.
I would say Destiny. Yeah, the way Destiny works that's totally different.
By the way, I'm going to talk about this later because they're going to talk about it in a minute. But I officially hate Destiny too. I'll talk more about it in a minute.
Fair enough. So after that, we got a surprise trailer that no one saw coming. Actually, State of Decay 3.
Yeah.
So this was gorgeous. I mean, it was just a CG trailer.
It was another one of the theme of this event, which is CG trailer.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, watching a deer eat a wolf is just insane.
That was awesome. That deer looks so crazy.
And a woman's yelling at everything.
Oh. Did you rewatch this in 4K?
No, I did not rewatch it yet.
We watched this trailer in 4K.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Like, it's crazy. I'm like, I need to see this. I'm like, wow. So I'm really curious to see. Like I said, 2, I always wanted to get into and never got into it. Maybe this will be the time.
Yeah, I tried too, and it's just so janky. It's almost impossible. Like for me, like jumping in late to this party is just like I can't really get into it.
Yeah,
I'm having some troubles over here.
Oh,
I'm good. I'm fine. It's just really wobbly. Like this.
Oh,
probably shouldn't happen.
Oh.
Wait, I got it. We're fine. Just keep going. Right. We're fine.
So after that, Phil came on the screen.
Yeah,
good old Phil Spencer. He was wearing.
This probably sounds great on this microphone.
Yeah. He was wearing a Halo Infinite shirt though, so no hints at what's coming.
Yeah, I know. I thought that too. I was very disappointed.
I was like, Phil, you always like to hint things.
Come on.
Oh my goodness, what happened?
I don't know what I'm doing. Just keep going. We're fine. None of this matters.
That's right. So then he introduced the. This is kind of threw me off. Early development of a trailer for Forza Motorsport. He said
just Forza Motorsport.
Just Forza Motorsport, and he said early development, which is weird.
Right.
I was fully expecting Forza at launch.
Yeah.
Show me the last couple of Xboxes. That's a launch title. Like, and it's been 2 years since Forza Horizon 4, which that's usually the biggest gap they do is 2 years.
Yeah, and I mean they've almost been going
almost like
year to year, like flipping Horizon and whatever.
And then when they didn't do it last year, I'm like, oh, well, yeah, duh. They're going to launch with the next one. That makes sense. I don't think so.
And it also felt like this is going to be another one of those like service deals, right? Where they're just going to be Forza Motorsport and then be another like yearly type of thing.
I'm not okay with that with this one. I don't want this to be a trend. I want my full games. I don't want things constantly added.
Okay. I'm going to really jump the gun here. Okay. I'm going to go, because we were talking about it. I'm going to go past the end of this thing. None of it matters. To me, the main thing I took away from this is just like, they are not selling me Xbox Series X. What they are selling me is continuing my subscription with Game Pass on this new machine.
Yes.
This is a Game Pass machine.
Yes.
The new machine that you want to pay your Game Pass on. Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass. So having it as a service like Sea of Thieves, which is a okay game at best,
sure,
but has millions of players playing it because it's free, it's alive, and it has like the feeling of like I'm already getting this for free.
Yep.
It's constantly updated. It was kind of fun with my friends. I can jump into it whenever I want to and not really make a difference story-wise or whatever it is. So I just feel like the Xbox Series X is just the newest Game Pass machine that Microsoft is trying to sell me. That's it. And they could not possibly kill us what box I play that stuff on as long as I subscribe monthly to Game Pass.
100% agree with you. And that worries me.
Because
it worries me in general with everything going. I'll talk about that a little bit more when we get to the very, very end of this.
We'll
talk. We'll go more in depth in that. But I agree. And for the record, everything that we're going to talk about here for the Xbox event is going to be on Game Pass. So,
which is amazing.
Which is incredible. Absolutely, it's absolutely incredible. But so we'll get more into that at the end. But no, I 100% agree with you on this. So after Forza Motorsport, they showed off a new trailer for the rare game Everwild.
Yeah.
So I wasn't too sure about this when the first reveal. This looks cool.
It's
gorgeous.
I almost feel like it's like a weird Pokemon game, right?
Yes. Oh my god, that's totally the vibe I got from it. I don't know if it is.
No one knows what it is.
No one knows what it is still. But my god, and this is another, like, just like the PlayStation event that we talked about. This is another trailer. You gotta watch this in 4K.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh my god! Like, I mean, it looked good. Like, I like the art style to begin with, anyways. But this in 4K was just incredible. It's stunning.
And like, I can make an argument for like 10 different types of games this actually is. And I might be right. I might be wrong. I have no idea. I could be completely wrong in all 10 of them.
Absolutely.
But like, man, that could really be so many different amazing things though, too. It was, I mean, it's visually stunning. And just have, on top of that, having just like the feels again, like something like you're collecting these animals, they're kind of being your friends or helping you, like that one that tore down that tree.
Right.
And like, I don't know.
So I wonder if it's like a Pikmin or Pokemon meets Pikmin.
You get the right kind of animal to do your thing.
That could be interesting.
It could be multiplayer. It could be single player. It could be a survival game. God knows. I have no idea what the hell the game is. But it looks fun. It looks interesting.
It's the most interesting thing Rare's done in years. Let's put it that way. As of right now,
I would agree with that.
We'll see.
I never played Sea of Thieves. So
I played that one time with Foos, but we had a lot of technical issues because they had a rough launch.
It's like like I said, I remember you guys playing like right when it came out.
Yeah,
I remember that.
But it was cool. It was interesting. But that's definitely a game that you got to play. Like, you got to play with people like that.
Agreed.
That game. So after that, we got a new trailer. Excuse me. For Tell Me Why.
Yes.
This is the Don't Nod game.
Yes.
So again, visually, it did not look pleasing in 4K. It looked way better. The character models are still okay.
Yeah.
But it's just Don't Nod style.
Exactly.
That's what it is. It's the Don't Nod style. But the environments, like in the 4K trailer, looked like everything else looked really, really good. So chapter 1 is coming August 27th. And then chapter 2 is a week after that. And chapter 3 is a week after that.
Boom.
Thank you.
It took 10 years of episodic content to finally figure this out.
Thank you.
Yeah, no,
But here's the problem I have is that I'm gonna wait till I have my Series X to play this.
Meh.
Probably.
I mean, this isn't like a technical powerhouse type of a deal.
Like, I don't know, but I know that it's gonna be a series. Like, there's gonna be a Series X optimized for Series X. So.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a lot of these have that kind of thing too, but
this is gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be a good game.
It's very interesting for like. I mean, again, it's like a trans story, right? Where like these two sisters become a sister and a brother sometime after they've had some kind of traumatic experience. Well, it looks like their mom,
right,
with some kind of crazy gun, like, and it seems like, and they're trying to figure out exactly what happened, and it kind of it's unclear if they're trying to like, just clear her name or trying to figure out what happened, or the whole idea is just like, you can only figure out, I forget what the whole tagline is, but it's basically like you have to, but before you move forward, you have to look to the past.
Right.
And these, this brother and sister now are having like flashbacks from that time period, and like they'll have like a moment where a sound reminds them of something that happened as a childhood, and but they can see it, you know? So like, I can't wait for that story. Yeah. Like I really can't wait to experience that. I don't know if it's more than 3 episodes, if they only have episodes planned for those first 3 release dates or what.
Right.
But like having it released like week by week by week is so vital. I think God. To like, because I loved Life is Strange 2, but it took over a year to release, and it's 5 episodes.
That's why I still haven't played it.
So like
now. The first like 3 episodes are off Game Pass. Like it's like
what a worst case scenario for that type of thing. Like we can buy the first 3 episodes and play like what's so stupid. But yeah, I mean, just like I absolutely love the way they tell a story, and I'm super excited for what they're gonna do with this one.
Absolutely, yeah, I'm very interested. I'll be checking that out. So after that, this is interesting. I didn't talk about this earlier, but. So then we got a little bit into Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Actually, last night I needed a break from Last of Us 2. I needed something just different, and I'm like, you know what? Let me jump back into that. I haven't played that since I only played like a half hour of it when it first came out. God damn, that game's so good.
That game's great.
It's so
It's
good.
Fucking great. I keep forgetting that came out this year.
I know. I keep forgetting. Yeah. What was that? February?
It's February something.
Yeah.
Oh, that game is great.
It's so good. But now my game is on hold because
why?
They are coming out, and I'm assuming it says later this year. I'm assuming it's going to be at launch. They're upgrading this game to 4K 120 frames per second,
which is bonkers. And
Series X.
I love numbers or whatever, right? But
sure.
But in this little snippet, they showed like side by side comparison of it, like what's the difference between like what it looks like now and what it looks like with 120.
Oh my God,
it makes a difference.
Yeah. Quite a bit.
Yeah,
quite a bit.
The game was gorgeous to begin with.
Oh, absolutely.
So I played on my original Xbox One, and like I did have some technical problems with it and things like that, but man,
yeah, like I said, I was playing on my Xbox One X, and it looks amazing last night. But now it's like, well, fuck, I'm gonna wait now because 120, yes. So then after that, we got into some Obsidian stuff. So we got into the Outer Worlds.
Yeah,
is getting their first DLC expansion, Pearl of Gorgon, coming September 9th. But they did announce that it's going to have smart delivery with Series X. So it is going to be a Series X version.
I was going to say that. I think that kind of confirms that like Outer Worlds is also going to do that like jump. I know. I'm so stupid. Apparently, I saw on Twitter today the guy who wrote or did some writing on this expansion also wrote on Outer Wilds.
Oh my
so he wrote on Outer Wilds and Outer Worlds.
You're not gonna, whatever. So yeah. So if you like Outer Worlds, a prettier version's coming with the expansion.
Yeah.
So cool. Again, September 9th. Then we got a new trailer, probably one of my favorite trailers of this whole show, for Grounded.
Yeah.
So this is the Honey I Shrunk Your Kids
game. Yep.
Basically. But oh my God, this trailer was so funny. It was so good. It's just like, if you've been waiting for the biggest game of the year, wait to play Cyberpunk 2077.
Waiting for this, yeah.
this is awesome. Like that was hilarious.
Yeah.
But if you want to play the smallest game of the year, and then there was a few other, I forget, but there was a couple other jokes.
Yeah, they had like a Battletoads figurine in the world and things like that.
Cool. Very cool. July 28th, this game's going to early access. It's going to be on Game Pass. I'm going to give it a roll. I'm going to give it a try. It just looks like it's fun. Like, I don't think this is something I would stick with. It might not even be past one night of playing kind of the game, but cool.
But that's the beauty of Game Pass, right?
Exactly. Oh yeah, they did say in the trailer from something you never would expect.
Yeah, right.
Something that this from a studio that never makes a game like this. Like, oh my god, that was so funny.
It's very self-aware. You know what I mean? It's very good.
They know. This was something that I guarantee you, a couple of guys were like, "We want to just do this."
Yeah.
Like, and Xbox is like, you know what? Go ahead. Here's money. Go ahead. So then after that, they had the developer, one of the developers come on, and then he's like, don't worry, we haven't forgotten our roots. They showed a brand new trailer, quick little trailer for a game called Avowed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be your typical Obsidian first-person RPG, Fallout kind of style. Cool.
Look very Skyrim-y.
Yes.
You have one blade, the sword in one hand and some kind of magic thing happening over here. I don't know. Again, I mean, like I said, I feel like that's the vibe of the game. Beyond that, that's what we saw. So, I mean, the pedigree is good enough to be excited about it.
Absolutely. And it's Obsidian.
Yeah, right.
Quality is going to be there. So after that, we got a little more of an independent studio.
Yes.
A game called As Dusk Falls. So this takes place in the U.S. Southwest.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it's gonna be about immigration. Like, that's the vibe I got.
Well, it sounds
kind of.
I feel like that's gonna be part of it.
Yeah.
But it looked like there was some kind of like not bank robbery, like store robbery,
right?
That either went wrong or something would happen to it, and the police got involved. But there was a little girl involved with that. Like, I don't know if she's like the shop owner's kids or something like that,
right?
And she ends up knocking on the door 30 years later of this person that robbed them. So the game kind of spans 30 years, and the way they kind of tell it is it almost feels like comic booky. Whereas it's like they have like a flat image.
Yeah, I think they call it an interactive drama.
Right.
Is what it would appear.
Correct. You're absolutely correct. So if the graphics felt very comic booky. It looks like they took a picture of somebody, drew over it, and that was like each individual scene was like they'll show like motion. I don't know how the game actually plays. I don't know what you make choices or whatever.
Right.
But they showed that woman that was before. I don't remember her name. It was like Caroline something. I don't remember her name. I guess she was some kind of lead at Quantic Dream before all this.
Oh, okay.
So she broke off, made her own studio a couple of years ago, and this is their first. First thing, which made me significantly more excited because I do like more Quantic Dream type stuff, and like. It seems like I think like a Quantic Dream story with like that kind of like vibe, like a Quantic Dream story with some kind of branching paths or whatever it is. But it looked very interesting. I want to see more. I want to see how the game actually plays. I think is really what I'm more I don't want to say concerned, but more interested in it.
Sure, I agree with you. The art, I really dig the art style. Mm-hmm. I thought it was very different. And interesting, and that's like I was like cool. Something different for once. But yeah, this is something definitely on my radar and makes me more excited that it's going to be on Game Pass.
100%.
After that, we shot over to Ninja Theory very briefly. Very, very briefly.
It exists.
Woo! They just confirmed that Hellblade Senua's. Thank you. I knew I was going to screw that up. I knew it. Oh,
well, it's like a very common name. I don't know how you messed that
up. Saga 2 is being developed with Unreal Engine 5.
And it's in Iceland.
That's
all you got.
And, oh my God, I wrote fucking Ireland here. Oh my God.
You might be.
Thank you for saying Iceland.
I'm 95% sure it's Iceland.
I'm pretty sure it's Iceland. I don't know. Oh my God. It's been a long week. But and then they have like a little... Basically, they're saying, hey, come watch our video after this showing you how we went to Iceland. This is what it looks like, and we created it one for one.
Yeah.
And the little tidbit they showed, it looked awesome.
Yeah. I don't know how much more they showed new. Like, it looks pretty much like the same stuff they showed before.
They showed like the sands. Remember that one little split screen where they kind of showed the sands?
Oh yeah, you're totally right.
Just saying the 1-to-1.
Yeah. You're totally right.
But that wasn't really the only new thing. This game is 2-3 years away. Like the fact that they didn't even show us anything new, like it's a long time away.
Yeah. That like crazy Nordic metal band is gonna release 2 albums before this game comes out.
Maybe there'll be one album that's like 5 hours long.
One song,
2 tracks. Yeah. 2 tracks. So after that, we got into Tim Schafer's Mind of Double Fine. Jack Black is joining Tim Schafer's Crazy Mind.
Was
perfect.
It was a Brutal Legend? Is there a game that was
Brutal Legend?
They doing a new Brutal Legend?
I mentioned that,
and they're talking about like, oh, this new song is really great. Like, are they doing another Brutal Legend?
And Tim Schafer was wearing a Brutal Legend shirt.
Oh, he was? I didn't see that.
He was. I got a little too excited. I just need Brutal Legend without the RTS. But it was a new trailer for Psychonauts 2, which we haven't seen in a while.
Which is also coming out to PlayStation 4 and 5 and Steam and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say, because they didn't confirm it there, obviously, because it's an Xbox.
Yeah.
I assumed it was still coming out because they announced it before the acquisition.
And is also not coming out this year.
Right.
So they released like a press release afterwards because they didn't put like a date on it or whatever it was, which was kind of weird. So it got delayed to 2021.
Okay. I just assumed it was. I didn't see that, but I just assumed it was.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, that sucks. This is going to be good.
I never played the original.
Psychonauts is so much fun. It's so.
But I feel like I should.
Fun. You should. It's on sale quite a bit on PlayStation.
I think it's on all the new stuff because they remastered it, right, or something like that.
Well, they did the PlayStation 2 remaster.
Oh,
like
you're
the classic
right.
Or whatever.
You are correct.
Trophies and stuff like that. I think that's where I got it on PS4 for that, and I actually from Gio. Thank you, Gio. On Twitter, back he used to give out codes all the time.
That's right.
So I have this. I still have not played it to this date, but I have the Psychonauts VR game.
Oh, really?
I got from Gio. So one of these days I gotta pop that in. I gotta check
Gio,
that out.
Man, Gio Corsi, random.
Gio is awesome.
I don't know where I miss him.
Corsi, I do miss him.
I miss him as much as I miss the Vita.
Yeah, I know. Dude,
they're hand in hand.
Because he also gave me. I also got a code from him for East Origin.
What the fuck am I doing? I'm just wasting my time over here.
It was one of those things we just happened to be on Twitter at the right time. He wants one. You threw him, and then after a certain amount of time, that was it.
Dude, Wario 64 puts up stuff all the time, and he removes part of it.
Right.
I'm like, I never get one. I'm there like seconds after he's on there, and I still don't get it. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Well, that was the thing. Gio never posted the code. He would actually say who wants one.
DM me type of
and
thing.
Then DM you the code. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's probably better.
Like the first whatever amount of people, how many codes he had, you got a code.
I got you.
And I just happened to be lucky with those two.
That's probably better than having like a bot cruise Twitter and get all that free shit.
Dude, I forget the last time I tried one of those. It was legit. Like it posted 3 seconds, and there was like 5 codes, and I'm like, oh, I'll take this second from the bottom because why not?
Yeah, right.
Gone. No, I'm like,
stupid.
So yeah, but the trailer was cool. The fact that Jack Black's doing a song in it makes me even more happy. So that's great. Gives me good Tenacious D vibes.
Hell yeah.
So after that, we'll get into I think what you want to talk about a little bit here. So Destiny 2 is coming to Series X and Game Pass.
Huzzah!
All the expansions.
Right.
Up in September. So basically, they're announced that Destiny 2 is coming to Game Pass sometime in September. All the expansions up to that point are going to be included.
Yeah,
which that's just incredible. You're gonna be able to play it from your mobile through the xCloud,
correct?
Which is awesome. And then there's a new expansion coming out, Beyond Light, coming out November 10th. And that is also going to be available on Game Pass.
So there's absolutely no reason to have Stadia at this point. Zero reason for Stadia. Sorry, Stadia. So that's not where I'm mad. I'm mad because I feel like I have wasted hours of my life in different press conferences from all kinds of companies on Destiny 2, and I'm sick and fucking tired of it because I don't give a shit. And if you give a shit, cool. Stop eating 10 to 15 minutes of my press conferences on this game that's been out for fucking years. I am so sick and tired of hearing about Destiny 2.
I don't disagree with you at all. I seriously, I really don't disagree with you. Mainly because I was very disappointed with the first Destiny, so I never got into Destiny 2. I think I may give it a chance since why not? Game Pass, might as well give it a chance. So I'll probably jump in just to see if I can get into it more this time. To me though, this announcement meant Bungie knows Activision was the wrong way to go.
Oh yeah.
And because they have admitted that before already, but they know, and like coming back to Microsoft's not an option, but they can get help from Microsoft.
Okay, yeah, this is like kind of like
this
that.
This is
like,
their way of reconnecting that relationship.
Yeah, I can feel that.
The fact that because to me that's like, oh my god, like okay, Beyond Light is a brand new expansion is coming out. And we're getting that day one on Game Pass. Like that's insane. That's usually when Destiny makes a ton of money. Is each of their expansions.
Correct.
So I think this is their way of reconnecting this relationship, which makes me actually very excited going forward for what Bungie's going to want.
Which is really interesting when you think about how tied Destiny 1 was to PlayStation 4.
Absolutely.
Like how they had a special edition PlayStation. That was the first. I think that was the first special edition PlayStation 4 was when it came with Destiny. You get the white one.
Yep.
And now, like 6-7 years later, we're talking about Destiny 2 breaking away from Activision and now having their own thing and still going back to Microsoft. That is interesting.
That tells you. I think it says a lot.
I think it does say a lot too.
Yeah.
I think it really says to the potency of Game Pass in the industry, right?
Yeah.
I'm still sick of hearing about it, but I hear
sure.
It's interesting.
Yeah, no, it's exciting for Bungie.
For Bungie.
So then after that, we got a world premiere.
This was like the stretch run near the end.
Yes,
whereas like all these console exclusives coming out at the very end.
Console launch exclusives.
Correct.
Now,
also correct.
Yes. So we start with actually a big surprise. I did not, the trailer was awesome. I did not know where this was going. And I'm very surprised to find out that Stalker 2 is coming to console.
I thought it was a Metro game.
Yes.
Because I don't know anything about Stalker at all. And I knew it was Chernobyl that they were in. And maybe they got to there in the whole like Metro, whatever. I don't know anything about Metro either. But like, yeah, I mean, it's like, this looks really cool. I'm so not invested in Stalker whatsoever.
Stalker 1, I played very briefly on PC. It was very cool. It was very cool.
I remember
a little bit I played.
I looked. I didn't know what kind of game it was because I'm aware of Stalker being a thing.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what it was. So I ended up YouTubing a couple of gameplay trailers. Like, okay, I can see this. Like, and then and I would have liked to see what the game looks like now with Stalker 2.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it does look interesting.
Yeah.
It does look very good.
So yeah. So at Series X, it says, but this one was this console launch exclusive. I think this one means Series X first and then PC.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't think I'll be surprised if this one makes it to PlayStation. Right?
It was huge. It was very big on PC originally, right? Okay.
Yes, this was huge on PC, but it looks great.
Yeah.
I did for a minute. My mind went to Silent Hill.
Man,
for like a couple
I can feel that
because there was what was it? It was the Ferris wheel that was broken down. I was like.
Well, my original thought was Call of Duty because they had that map, but for 4, I'm like, are they doing Call of Duty 4 again? Like, okay, this isn't Call of Duty.
So yeah, very cool. So then after that, we got a new another trailer coming up, another console launch exclusive, another first person horror type. Yeah,
back to back.
To it again. And it being Warhammer 4000 Dark Tide.
Well, this looks interesting. Warhammer. Oh.
That's kind of my thought as well. But, I mean, the little bit they showed in there looked like actual gameplay of like first-person shooter.
I thought so too.
So if that is what it is, it's going to be on Game Pass.
So
I might give it a whirl. We'll see. 2021.
Oh, man. Okay. Yeah, you're making so many points for me, but keep going.
So after that, we got the one Mike was most excited for, I think.
Which one?
Tetris Effect.
Oh, I love Tetris.
So they were showing like a bunch of people playing stuff, and then they turned into Tetris pieces.
I never played Tetris Effect. I haven't. Okay. I've never actually played it.
Okay.
I do enjoy the aspect of it looks like cooperative Tetris.
Yeah. So there wasn't much info. They did say online multiplayer.
Yeah.
Which was confirmed. It was just being added. So Tetris Effect is currently on PlayStation 4. Connect is going to be the evolved version. And there's also going to be a single player.
Yeah.
Like, I'm assuming like story type, quote unquote story mode
Sure.
or whatever. But then it was cool.
Yeah, it showed them, and it all had different symbols underneath. So I don't know if like those different, like I don't know if that's like my symbol that I'm playing with, and we're all working together, or like that's my symbol and we're playing against each other. It looks like we were playing together.
I'll say it looked cooperative because you had the yellow, blue, and red, but then the giant yellow piece came over into the red section and cleared things out.
I did not see that.
So that was pretty interesting.
Okay.
So I wonder if it's going to have. So I'm thinking cooperative. I think cooperative for sure.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
It also makes me wonder if they're going to try to sneak in some of that Tetris 99-ness to it too.
I think that's still the most game I played on my Switch so far. Played so much. Did I tell you I did get a second? Did I tell you that?
No.
I dig it. I got a second. And it was me and the last guy, and we battled for a while, but I was never close. It was one of those things like I was just hanging. I held on forever.
You were just praying he
screwed up, really fucked up somewhere, and I it just wasn't happening.
That's pretty good though.
I'll take a second. I got a bunch of threes in a second now,
nice.
So it is what it is.
After that, we get a trailer for a brand new game that looked, I think, actually very interesting and very impressive. Called The Gunk.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of. I think I said it in my live stream too. This felt like the Xbox's Kenna.
Okay.
From PlayStation 5.
I can feel that.
So it was like a dark game, but cheerful in a way. Like it was more of like a animated, like it's like a dark animated movie. But it visually looked great.
Yeah, it felt like you were going to this like strange new world, and you were trying. It almost seemed like you were trying to get resources from it, but there's this gunk everywhere that you're trying to clear up and like platform around in the area. Yep. So it felt very much so like one of those like 3D platformer type deals with the added aspect of having to clear out the gunk of these different areas.
Right. Yeah. So I'm curious to see more in that.
Terrible name.
The Gunk.
Terrible. No one's gonna sell this console with a gunk. Get out of here.
No data or anything.
Yeah.
So God knows. Like all this.
Like
much,
almost all of this.
Which we'll get into more in a little bit at the end of this. So then after that, we got, for me, the trailer of the show.
For me too.
Oh, good.
I'm reading ahead. I'm looking at your notes.
That's okay. Good. I'm glad. The Medium.
Yep.
So they showed this off before with at the gameplay reveal of X Series X,
right? And
which wasn't gameplay at all; it was just CG, and it was like, okay, creepy, cool. I'm interested. Now I'm in. I am so in. This is a dual reality game, so I think from what I gather is there's going to be times when we're going to see two realities on the screen at the same time in split screen.
Okay, I interpreted it differently.
Okay,
I interpreted it as I can go in between each reality depending on what it is. So you only see one at a time.
Okay.
But you have the possibility of experiencing everything in the game from either one.
Okay.
Depending on where you are or what you're doing.
Either way, I'm okay with it.
Either way, look great.
Because it just looked insane. It looks so good. We actually got legit game. This is probably this actually might have been the trailer that had almost the most gameplay.
Do you count Destiny 2?
No.
Okay, good. Then,
you're good. Destiny 2 because that's old. So this one might have had, except next to Halo, the most actual.
I would agree with that.
And it looked phenomenal. Mm-hmm. It looked good. It's very interesting. Mm-hmm. If it is what you're saying, like where you pick which world you want to play in, well, you're telling me right now I'm playing through it twice because like I just feel like I have to play unless I'm sure there's certain points where you're forced to go into a certain reality to move forward.
You might be right too, but either way, like it's super interesting
because there's that one part where there's the split. Okay, there's a split screen where in the dark realm she's holding the sphere, but then in the other realm she's holding nothing.
Right, she's still holding it, but she's holding. She's making the motion of holding something, but there's nothing there. Yeah,
so that's what gave me the idea of that. Oh, you legit do.
You might be right. Yeah, you might be right.
Screen. I don't know. Either way, I'm pumped. I'm in. I can't fucking wait.
Yeah, psychological horror on that level is exciting.
Yes, absolutely. So after that, we got a trailer for a Sega game which God bless my heart. I got a little too excited. I saw mountains. I saw like rock structures. I really thought they were announcing a brand new Panzer Dragoon game for a minute. My God!
This is why I don't do. Here's why I don't do live streaming. So they showed Sega, and I went,
Fair enough. That's all right.
I feel like Sega's made the same game for 30 years, so
that's all right.
That's not me.
I thought I was gonna be a new Panzer Dragoon. I lost. I was like for like 5 seconds. I couldn't breathe, and then I realized it is. It has to do with Phantasy Star Online 2, which is great. It's called New Genesis. I really didn't look into this. My buddy Foos looked into this. He said that supposedly it's like an all new adventure. It's like an all new game. It's actually like not. It's like an expansion, but like a standalone expansion almost.
From a game from like Dreamcast?
Right. Phantasy Star Online was a Dreamcast game. Phantasy Star Online 2 is currently on, finally. It was only in Japan for forever.
Okay.
And it just recently came to Xbox.
Okay. I'm confused.
Xbox One.
Okay, that makes sense.
And it's on PC now. So this New Genesis supposedly is going to be like a standalone new expansion.
Okay.
But I don't know. It's whatever. We'll see. We'll find out. It's coming in 2021. So cool. So then we got more into Crossfire X, which at E3 last year, if you remember, was like Phil made it sound like this was like the biggest PC game ever, which I've never heard of.
Apparently,
for him, it made me hype.
Yeah, a lot of people apparently don't like it though. On consoles, yeah.
Oh, shit, that sucks. Well, with the news I have here, I'm not gonna like either. So they showed off a brand new trailer for it, mainly story based, to show off the story mode. This is from Remedy,
yes,
as well.
Remedy first person shooter. You have my interest.
Yes, but so the multiplayer is gonna. You have to have gold, but it will be available through Game Pass sometime in 2020. The single player is not on Game Pass.
Yep,
it is sold separately.
I saw that too.
Well, that just took away every.
That's the end of that chapter.
Pretty much. Because I legit, before that popped up, I said, oh, well, this could be on Game Pass. I'll run through the single player to see what the hype is all about. And it's Remedy. Nope.
It looked, and also, honestly, like, when they're showing it, like, there's, like, Remedy particle effect. I don't know why their stuff looks different than anybody else. Absolutely. But it really does. And, like, having it in a first-person shooter, I thought was very interesting, right? And I was like, I'm in for this. And then they don't really mention it, but they had this little disclaimer at the very bottom of the screen saying that what you just said about it being multiplayer on Game Pass, single player.
Yep.
Not on it. It was just like, it just totally killed me on it. Yep. I was just like, what the hell are you guys doing?
Supposedly, I guess Remedy has some bad vibes with Microsoft.
I can feel that too. I mean,
since Quantum Break, and I think that's why Control went
mostly on
multi-platform.
And what's really crazy about this whole thing is you can play Control right now on PlayStation Now.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, not on Game Pass.
Not on Game Pass.
It's very weird. So I wonder what happened with that Microsoft Remedy relationship, and this is just making it worse.
Yeah, I almost feel like Quantic Dream was on the Xbox One launch lineup, right? And I think, and they were going to be like, oh, it's a TV show and a game. Right. And I feel like, I don't know if Microsoft, like, when they pivoted, completely like screwed the entire Remedy like development line type of a thing, where it's just like, well, we're not doing the TV thing that we thought we were going to do with Xbox One, right? They pivoted back to like a more standard type of console. So I don't know if like Remedy had to like, we've paid these actors, we filmed this stuff, like what the hell are we supposed to do type of a thing. So maybe that might be part of it. Like that's my conspiracy theory on the whole thing, because like Remedy,
there's got to be something behind that.
Remedy's been very PlayStation focused ever since then. I mean, it was only been a game, Control, but Control has been very like PlayStation centric.
Yeah. I'm surprised Sony has not tried to just buy them.
I would be so happy.
So unfortunately, I was hyped during the trailer. That popped up, and that was the end of that.
Completely agree.
I won't play multiplayer for it. I won't. So then Matt Booty came back out. Good old Matt Booty. And announced that they have one more thing, and that they're going to have another event later this year.
Correct. Sometime later this year.
Rumor has it August. which is next month.
I'm not here. I'm not listening to rumors anymore. Whatever.
But they're gonna have another event because they did not get to all of their studios that they've bought recently, which they did not get to quite a bit of them. And even the ones they did, stuff we kind of expected.
Especially this one.
Yes, but there was one more thing. It is everything that we all have been waiting for. Well, kind of. The announcement we've been waiting for, but not. I wish we had more. From Playground Games, Playground is doing it. Confirmed now. Fable.
Yeah, worst kept secret in gaming. So we all knew it was coming. Type of a deal.
The trailer was excellent.
Yeah, they spent a whole minute, killing Tinkerbell, and then that was it.
That was so good. That was so good.
It was pretty. It hit the tone. Just beautifully.
Yeah, this is Fable.
Yeah. The second you saw like the sword in the English voice, I'm like, this is gonna be Fable, and it was.
Yep. But that's it. That's like 3.
That's a long way away.
That's at least two.
That's a long way away.
Because there was nothing for it, and I think, and to be
also, and what was the name of the game? What's the name of the game? Fable. So no Fable 4, no Fable something else.
For this one, I can understand maybe a reboot for this because since Fable 3 was not great,
correct.
And then they've abandoned. And they've come. Well, they haven't abandoned.
Did that Heroes or something?
But they've done a couple other Fable random shit.
Yeah.
Since then, so it's like, okay, I'm okay with you guys for this one. Like for this, I'm okay with you guys rebooting. Just call it Fable. Let's get it going again.
Yeah, if this is like Fable, like this is God of War. Like, all right, we're starting kind of new, starting fresh. Fine. But if this is like some kind of service thing or like massively multiplayer in the Fable world,
I will lose it.
But we don't know what it is because it's multiple years away, like you said.
I know.
Most of this stuff felt multiple years away. This felt multiple years away. Forza felt multiple years away.
Which is crazy to me. Like how
they've
been working on this Forza for 3 years.
Correct.
Already. How is this still in early development? How is this not coming out at like, okay, fine. You know what?
Say 2021.
If you're not going to do launch, fine. But agree. How can you not confirm 2021 for it at least? Like you're not Gran Turismo, where you could tell me it's coming out tomorrow, and I'll say fuck you.
Yeah, I know.
Like no,
bullshit.
You're lying. I don't know. I was actually working at Hollywood Video at the time, so I was connected with Game Crazy.
Yeah,
I remember Gran Turismo for PSP. The release date that they had in this system was the next day, and they still didn't have it in the store. 2 weeks went by. It was still that day. And then they finally delayed it. Like it was so like Gran Turismo was another story. Yeah. Forza, we count on Forza for launch. Like, so for me, fine. If you're not gonna have it at launch, how can you not confirm 2021 on this? Like that makes me very worried.
That makes it sound very far away.
Like, and that's just kind of that's everything. So that's kind of the vibe I get from this whole thing. Like you said earlier, this is a Game Pass machine where if you have Xbox One, the stuff that's coming out in the next year or so, you can still play. It's going to be look and play way better on your Series X. But if you have your Xbox One, and especially if you have an Xbox One X, you'll be fine. But
what confuses me is they stopped production on the S and the X.
Right.
So like, if you're selling a Game Pass machine and not necessarily a new console, why would you not give the consumer those options? Now, there is still those rumors of having the lower price to whatever, I forget what they call it. The
Series S is the rumored Lockhart.
Okay, Lockhart. Thank you. Lockhart. What I'm looking for.
Codename Lockhart. But they're thinking it's going to be called Series S.
Okay. So I mean, there is still a possibility that a Series S or Lockhart or whatever the frick it's going to be called is going to come out, and that's going to be like basically the X plus the solid state drive or something like that. Right? What I mean?
Right.
So you get some of the boost, but you don't get like all the way up to the Series X. But like this all feels like service. This all but like here's my I don't want to say concern. Here's my thought on the whole deal, right? So like every once in a while, I mean, what AAA games do we have here? We have Halo Infinite is a AAA game.
Yep.
Totally feel that.
Yep.
Maybe Senua's Saga 2, but Hellblade was an independent.
Yeah, but this one I think because of Microsoft buying Ninja Theory,
that might change things.
I think this time this one's gonna be pushed to AAA for sure.
I can feel that.
Yeah.
Maybe Stalker 2.
Yeah.
Would you consider the medium?
No.
I don't think so either.
I would consider the double.
And Fable.
And Fable's definitely.
I would assume it's going to be. I mean, I'm going to assume that it's going to be like a Fable 4 minus a 4, right?
Yep.
I'm going to give them benefit of doubt on that.
Me too.
So we have We have 2, maybe 3 AAA type titles. We just haven't heard from the Initiative, I think is what they call it. They're quadruple A studio, right?
Which that blows my mind that we did not get anything from them because they have teased that studio so much.
Yeah.
Phil's been there. And he posted a picture of him playing something, and like everyone was zooming in, trying to like get a reflection.
Look at the reflection of his eyes.
Seriously, so the fact that they did that, and then even the guy, the one of the main guys from there, forget his name, he tweeted out like, oh, don't worry, working from home, but in full force, and like him like on his laptop, like basically them teasing, like how did they not show something?
So if this is a Game Pass machine, are they comfortable only showing Game Pass quality games? Like we've all said, like, oh, I'll play it when it comes on PlayStation Plus. Oh, I'll play it when it comes on Game Pass.
Right.
So like, and then having a trickle of like a couple of AAA games here and there. Like Gears is going to be in development at some point. So Halo's going to be out. The Gears going to be out there somewhere. Yeah. Fable, again, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Sure.
But outside, I mean, Forza. I think Forza Motorsport. I would consider that too because that's a big deal.
Yeah.
So we're talking like 4 AAA games in the next 2 years, 3 years type of a deal, right? So like, we're going to sprinkle in a couple of AAA games, put a bunch of, I almost said mediocre, which is wrong, but like mid-tier type of like, the mid-tier games that are fun, but like they're Game Pass games. Yeah. Like there's a bunch of games I would never have played if it didn't come to Game Pass. Like, so is their strategy just like, I'm going to put as much Game Pass quality games out on our system exclusively with these new acquisitions of these studios? They have 15 new studios, first-party studios. We saw some of them today. Some of them are still working on things that are going to be on multi-platform, by the way.
Well, sure.
And then we still have like question marks on some biggies out here, right? So like, is the plan? These studios are going to make Game Pass quality games to get people to buy Game Pass and the Game Pass machine.
Oh, I don't know. Oh my god.
Because it does not feel at all like the Xbox 360 game plan, the Xbox One game plan, PlayStation 3, 4, 5 game plan of like big AAA, massive first party games.
Oh no, I agree with you. I fully agree with you on that. And oh god, that makes me a little worried.
And then circle this back, right? So if Xbox is only making Xbox Game Pass quality games, like I'll play it when it comes on Game Pass. Does Sony keep making these massive single player awesome experience in their console if they don't need to make them anymore?
That's true. I mean, maybe that's what they're testing the waters with that whole Miles Morales. Because that's I'll
say this too. If I could, I can't really say this, but if I could have been delivered, The Last of Us Part 2 in a couple of different chunks. That would have been equally as great.
Right.
Like this chunk a year and a half ago.
Sure.
Chunk number 2 later maybe at the launch of PlayStation 5.
Right.
Maybe. Sure. I mean, there's so much influx. Like I said, there's even more. Honestly, at the end of this conference, I felt there's even more influx with what the next gen could possibly be than it was before it.
Right.
And again, I could just be completely spitballing conspiracy theory and all this kind of madness. But like business does like play off each other and things like that. So like, PlayStation 4 dominated this year because of their first party AAA exclusives that were, some of the best games ever, honestly. If Xbox isn't even in that space anymore, what's PlayStation going to do?
Yeah. No, I hear you. Man. Oh, God. Why is this next gen so confusing? And I'm not gonna lie, like, and also too, like after this is all said and done, like I don't know what I'm gonna do about buying the new systems.
Me too.
I'm actually like, because like I have not missed a launch of a system since Xbox 360. Like we're talking handhelds, main consoles, everything. I have bought everything day one since Xbox 360. So it's killing me to even consider not buying either of them. Right now.
But like, I mean, ultimately too, like we don't even know when some of these games are coming out.
Well, right. That's the thing. We don't know when a lot of these are coming out, but I do know though that there's a lot of games. There's a handful of games already coming out that will get a Series X. I will get the smart delivery for.
Correct.
But we still don't know. Is that on launch? Is it not?
Right.
For some of these games, like we don't know. Like because like Yakuza Like a Dragon is day one. Assassin's Creed is going to be out there.
I think Legion is as well.
Yeah. Yep. Legion will be there. But are the Series X versions ready when the Series X comes out?
Or is that what that is?
Or right. And that makes me a little worried about that. And then so in terms of the X, but then what comes into play is, okay, well, Xbox has Game Pass though.
Right.
So I can play Halo Infinite day one just through X. Because I have it through March anyways, currently. So I can play Halo Infinite launch day on my Series X. I mean, yes, I can play it on my X as well. But I could, if I got the Series X, I could play it on my Series X. And if depending on the price of the Series X, though, like that might be still like, okay, like maybe that's why they canceled the X. Because maybe that $399 price tag is correct for the Series X, which would blow my mind if that's the case. Like I cannot believe that. I can't see it under 500. I just can't.
With the power,
I just can't. You're right, exactly. Especially if the rumor of the Series S is true. Like if that is true, like if there's another version, I can see that version being $399, but I cannot see the Series X being $399. I just can't. Like, but if the Series X, if they come on and say Series X $399, I'm pre-ordering day one. Like that's done. Like it's happening. I'm getting it day one. But right now, I'm a little more inclined to go PS5 because of what they, again, we still don't know a lot of dates on a lot of things for PS5 either.
Or details or how things are going to work or God knows what else.
We don't know about PS5 either. All I know right now, but I do know I have a launch title that's Miles Morales, which, yes, I can play on my PS4 Pro as well. But I'm going to want to play that in my 4K. I want that performance mode 4K 60.
Agreed.
I do. But my concern on that system is the price.
Yep.
We still don't know. And the fact that Sony is being the way they are, I am worried it is $600 like the PS3, which I did do back in the day. And I do and I don't regret. I don't, because I was happy to have it, and it was the fully backwards compatible and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But goddamn, that was a lot of
Yes, it was.
Especially back then. There was a lot of money back then. Especially when I was just working at GameStop. There was a lot of money. This is putting me in a real... After this event, I wanted this event to be like, yes, I'm excited for Series X. I am ready for Series X.
Yeah.
I am in on Series X. Give me Series X. Let me pre-order it now. I don't feel that way, like right now.
Yeah, and I mean, they're still talking about like, a future event coming out later this year. And again, you talk about the August rumors and whatever it is, and we still need to figure out price, and we still need to figure out if there is another console. I mean, there's so much up in the air, and we're near the end of July, which is just crazy. Bonkers to me.
Nuts. How have I not have both pre-ordered and then making my decision but with them at least secured right now?
I hear you. So yeah, I mean, ultimately, like I said, there's just so much up in the air still after this. Like every single time we have one of these events, I'm like, all right, this is gonna be it. We're gonna get some answers, and then we never do.
I know. This is nuts. Oh.
All right, it's late.
It is.
Do you have any final thoughts on?
I overall disappointed. There's good stuff in here. Don't get me wrong.
100% there is
good stuff.
100% there is.
But it's not. I was super hyped for this, so that might be partially my own fault. But it did not live up to my hype.
Yeah.
It did not make me feel good about a Series X coming out this year. So we'll see.
And like we said too, like there's we kept saying like at some point. I mean, I said this 2 years ago. I think like Microsoft has the clearest path to next gen supremacy.
They so do.
I don't know if they still do anymore though. Like I said, they're running out of time here to like tell me why someone should like if they're looking. If they don't have any consoles, right? They're just gonna walk up to Target rack, see both these systems out there. Like, why am I buying an Xbox?
Yep.
And I don't know if they have even remotely come close to that.
No.
Where like PlayStation can work off of previous success, and Xbox needs to kind of like start anew here. And I don't feel like they've done that outside of selling the Jesus Christ hell out of Game Pass.
Agreed.
Which is amazing. Game Pass is amazing.
100%. Which is why I still think, I still think, especially because price wise, eventually we get that. I still think I'm going to lean towards a Series X this year, and maybe hold off on a PS5 till next year.
I can't even. I mean, with me being more of a PlayStation guy, I can feel myself buying the PlayStation.
Sure,
but I do have Game Pass that's still good until like April or March or April or May or something like that. So I'm just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I know.
So
I don't like this. This is gonna be, in my opinion, the worst launch ever for a system. Though.
It's just so muddy.
Because at least like with the other series, like sure, we never got like launches are never fantastic. Let's be honest, but the PS4 had a decent amount of games. Xbox One actually had a decent amount of games.
Yeah.
I mean, a good amount. I mean, Rise, Rise Son of Rome.
Titanfall.
Well, Titanfall was a little bit after.
It was just after.
It was a little
right.
But Dead Rising 3. There was still games to get day one. Where right now I'm like, I don't have anything day one necessarily for either system. Like, well, no, I take that back. PlayStation 5. But I can't get it on the systems I currently own if I want to.
And is it even guaranteed that Miles Morales is coming out on day one? I don't think it is even.
It said holiday 2020, which to me just mean.
So we're going to do like the launch window.
I'm assuming the launch window. I mean, worst comes to worst, a week later.
Okay.
I think. I would think.
Right.
But
so
I would be shocked, especially with the fact that we don't have dates yet. If it's not coming out on launch day, it's not holiday 2020.
Right.
It's going to be delayed.
And like I said, ultimately, it's just so like, so there was that blurring of like the generational lines with the Series X. I'm sorry, the One X and the Pro. That's PlayStation 4 Pro. So like, I feel like this is even getting muddier with this next thing. So it's just like, so you're going to tell me that you're going to release games 3 years down the line for Microsoft I can play on my launch Xbox One?
Right.
I'm not saying it's going to be great, but I can still do it.
Play it, right?
So you're also going to tell me that you're developing a game that has to
function,
be hampered by the original Xbox One. I don't know, man. This is like it's like the what do they call it? Like the monkey paw wish, like where you get the monkey paw and you like, I wish I could play all my games on the next console, and the finger goes down. But however, like it says, it's not as good as you think it's going to be. Like I feel like that's kind of where we're at with this. I
hear you
with next gen. So, all right, you're the Xbox man. I'm gonna leave you with if you have any final thoughts here, per our old podcast format of giving you the final.
My new shirt came in.
Good.
The live stream.
Oh no.
It was supposed to be here yesterday before the live stream. So, but
mail.
I'm still excited for the Series X. I mean, it's still next gen.
I'm still excited for all the next gen stuff.
Absolutely. Especially, like I said, I'm holding off of that. Ori and the Will of the Wisps, 120 frames. I cannot wait to see that.
The game's so good.
But I'm worried. I'm worried about next gen. My hype for next gen has gone from here to about here now, which is not good. Just either studio, I don't care, Microsoft or Sony, give us something to be excited about. Give us that one thing. Give us something to be like, yes, like here we go. This is next gen. Let's do this. Like I am ready. Like I am so ready. I want it now.
I want details now. I want to understand what's coming out in a few months. It is the end of July. I keep saying this. I don't know if you've realized this theme I got going on here, but like we talk about this in multiple different podcasts. Like now it's the end of July, and we still know what's going on.
These have to be coming out in November. Like
I'd imagine.
There's the rumor because everyone said Yakuza will be their day one for Xbox Series X, and they recently leaked November 13th for that game.
Okay.
So
that's like a week before. What game am I thinking of?
It's a week before Cyberpunk. And and a few days before Assassin's Creed. God damn it. 3 games right there. But so November 13th is looking likely for the Series X right now. And everyone's guessing November 20th then for PlayStation 5.
Okay.
That's still a week before Black Friday. Right. That would make sense.
So we have August, September, October, and the first part of November.
Yeah.
So 3 months and 2-ish weeks.
This is ridiculous.
Are about coming out, and we don't know price. We don't know there could be a whole another system coming out from Microsoft that we don't even know about yet.
This is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. It's crazy. This whole E3 vacuum has really messed this whole thing up.
Just give it to me, please.
Give Steak the details. And that's all. Any other final words you got, Steak? I'm going to leave you be.
I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
All right. See you next time, Steakheads.